The Gladiators road trip takes them to North Charleston Coliseum, home of the reigning Brabham Cup champions, the South Carolina Stingrays. They host the Gladiators, who are currently sitting at 8-1 on top of the ECHL. Good evening, everyone. Guy Chiarenza here with you today. And what is going to be an exciting battle between the two of the South Division's best. Atlanta at 8-1, having won their last two to start this road trip. They have 16 points on the year, and they are currently sitting pretty on top of the South Division. They're taking on a South Carolina team that is dangerous and has seemed to have hit their stride. They are 7-3 with 14 points on the season, and they are in second place. Their last loss coming to these Gladiators on November 2nd in Duluth at Gas South Arena. That was a 2-1 final for the Gladiators. Carson Denemy scored a shorthanded goal. Joey Cipollone tacked on another, and TJ Semptenfelter picked up the win. Stingrays have played 3 games since then, and they have won all 3 since. The Gladiators lost to Greenville on that Wednesday on November 5th on the school game, and then have won their last 2 to begin this road trip, which is currently sitting in its 3rd game out of 4. The Gladiators will be in Jacksonville tomorrow to wrap up the road trip. Atlanta began this road trip last week with a 5-2 win against Jacksonville, and most recently a thrilling 2-1 overtime victory over the Savannah Ghost Pirates. Let me tell you all about it. As Atlanta defeated Savannah 2-1 in overtime, Kalen Lind got his first professional goal off of a tip-in on a long shot from Chad Nychuk from the left point to tie the game after Matt Koopman for Savannah scored 2:30 into the first period. So it was a 1-1 game after Lind scored about 8.5 minutes into the first period, and we were tied all the way through to the end of overtime with 19.5 seconds left. Isaac Walter doing what he does best, grinding his way into the offensive zone, gets hooked, gets dragged down to his knees, delayed penalty, but the Gladiators don't need the extra man, and they don't need any more time, as Walter was able to sauce it across the slot to Alex Young. He found the trailer, which was Jack Mateer, who scored his first goal of the season and the game winner to make it a 2-1 victory for the Gladiators in OT. So Alex Young finished the night with 2 assists. He now has 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 2. He is tied for the team lead in points with 10. Chad Nychuk picked up an assist on the Kalen Lind goal. He is also tied for the team lead with 10 points with Alex Young entering the matchup here today. Alex Young has looked dangerous as of late. Watch for him here today. Jack Mateer with the goal in overtime for the Gladiators seems to be hitting his stride. He is at least a +1 or better in every single game since his first game after being assigned to the Gladiators from Milwaukee a few games into the season. So the Gladiators, again, are hitting their stride. Ethan Hyder that night stopped 30 of 31, but the Gladiators will be without his services as he was assigned to Milwaukee earlier in the week. Gladiators netminder TJ Semptenfelter will get the start here today. More on that in a moment. The Gladiators power play did go 0 for 3 in that game against Savannah, still finding their way here in the early going of the season, but the penalty kill has been fantastic. Another perfect outing for them. 4 for 4 for Atlanta's PK, which is one of the best units in the ECHL. Currently operating at 86.7%. For South Carolina, again, they're currently on a 3-game win streak. Their most recent outing, a good one for them, as they scored a season-high 5 goals in a 5-3 victory over the Orlando Solar Bears on Sunday. Ben Howardchuk with 1 goal and 2 assists led the way. He got the scoring started for South Carolina. Simon Pennard had a goal on the power play for South Carolina as the Stingrays were rolling. Jordan Klimek had 2 goals for South Carolina in that game. Patrick Guzzo, 2 assists. Jalen Lipen had 2 assists as well for South Carolina and their best offensive outing of the year. So South Carolina with a good showing on offense on Sunday against Orlando goes against a brick wall against Atlanta here today as TJ Semptenfelter will get the start here tonight for Atlanta. He stopped 19 of 21 in Jacksonville on Friday in the 5-2 win 1 week ago, and he's currently 3rd in the ECHL in save percentage, and he leads all rookies in goals against average and save percentage. That is what the Stingrays are up against here tonight, and they're also up against one of the best defensive teams, if not the best defensive team in the ECHL, as the Gladiators are only allowing 1.67 goals against average per game. That is the best figure in the ECHL, and they're pretty good on shots against as well, 27.33 against per game on average. That is the 6th best in the league entering tonight. So we'll see if the Stingrays can get things rolling on offense again here today, or if the Gladiators will continue to be solid on defense. Seth Isley was in between the pipes for the Stingrays on Sunday, stopping 31 of 34 in the victory. South Carolina's power play did go 1 for 2, but their penalty kill had a rough day. 1 for 3 on the PK for South Carolina. We'll watch for that special teams battle here today, and what could be another low-scoring affair between these two clubs, as the last time these two teams met on November 2nd, it was a 2-1 final. No goals in the first 2 periods of that game. Carson Denemy scores in the first minute, short-handed. In the third period of that game, Gladiators went on to win 2-1 as Joey Cipollone tacked on the GWG. So we're getting set for a fun one here tonight at North Charleston Coliseum. Gladiators did make some roster moves earlier in the week. Had a guy go up to Milwaukee, signed a player, and released a player. That is the business. We'll talk all about it on the other side of the break. We'll also get to the keys to the game from Coach Matt Ginn, presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda, and the starting lineup here tonight between South Carolina and Atlanta. It's to the South Division's best going head-to-head here tonight in Charleston. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network. We are back in a moment after a word from our local sponsors.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble's menu. All types of dessert. More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Now in rotation.
The Gladiators taking on the Stingrays for the second time this season. We are at North Charleston Coliseum in North Charleston, South Carolina, for this exciting matchup between two of the South Division's best. The Gladiators did make some roster moves earlier on in the week, as Ethan Hyder was recalled by the Milwaukee Admirals. As our NHL affiliate, the Nashville Predators, are currently in Sweden. They are coming off of a 2-1 thrilling overtime victory themselves against the Pittsburgh Penguins earlier today, as it was a 2-1 final score in Sweden. Nashville ties the game late, and then in overtime, it is Steven Stamkos scoring for the Predators to give them the win in the NHL Global Series. Those two teams will meet again on Sunday, Nashville and Pittsburgh from Sweden. Always a fun affair for the Global Series. And we are very proud to call the Predators our affiliate, and the Admirals as well. So Hyder gets called up to Milwaukee on Sunday. Gladiators sign goaltender Logan Stein. As a result of that, he will be the backup for the Gladiators here today as TJ Semptenfelter gets the start. Stein will be wearing number 1 for the Gladiators, as he is signed out of the University of Michigan. where last year he posted an 11-9-2 record, 3.22 goals against average, an .893 save percentage, and 1 shutout for the Wolverines. Played his first 4 years at Ferris State, and is a native of Suwanee, Georgia. So Logan Stein joins the squad, and Gladiators did release forward Connor Galloway earlier in the week as well, as the roster limit has gone down 1 as the season rolls on. So that is the lowdown for the Gladiators in terms of the transactions. Now let's get to the keys to the game, presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda with head coach Matt Ginn. 3 keys for the game for Coach: play fast, play direct. Key number 2 is to make them defend. And finally, the 3rd key is to manage the puck. And it seems like these 3 keys seem to be kind of on a rotational basis. Matt Ginn got a few keys in his pocket that he likes to share with us every now and then. And it feels like they are pretty much the same day in and day out. But for the Gladiators, it's been working. Very direct, very fast. That seems to be their mojo. And they want to have the Stingrays on their heels. They want to play a very north game, which is another key that we've seen from Matt Ginn from time to time. And so the Gladiators want to spend most of their time in the Stingrays zone here today. Make sure that they are playing mostly on offense in this game. And, of course, always want to manage the puck. Don't want to turn it over to a South Carolina team that was the best regular season team last year, winning the Brabham Cup. That banner hanging to my left in the rafters. And so for Matt Ginn and the Gladiators, these are their 3 keys to the game tonight against South Carolina, presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda. Always a fun affair when these 2 teams get together. This is the 2nd meeting of the season between these 2 squads. They met a few weeks ago in Duluth at Gas South Arena on the 2nd of November. Gladiators won that matchup. This is the 2nd of 9 meetings between these 2 squads this season. 5 of those games will be played here at Gas South Arena. We're going to see a lot of the Stingrays coming up, as we will see South Carolina here today. We'll see them for 2 in Duluth on the 23rd and 26th. As all the Gladiators games coming up on the schedule until they go to Utah on December 10th. All of those games will be either against South Carolina, Greenville, or Jacksonville, who we will see tomorrow to round out the 4-game road trip. So with that, let's get to the starting lineup here in Charleston. We'll start with the South Carolina Stingrays, who are going to send out their 4th line to begin play today. Number 37, Tanner Edwards, gets the start at left wing for South Carolina, standing at 6 foot even, 190 pounds. The native of Anchorage, Alaska, playing in game number 4 this season, gets called into action here today. Having not yet scored a point here this season, Gladiators hope that stat line stays the same. Starting center here today is number 77, Ryan Hofer, standing at 6'4", 189 pounds, a native of Winnipeg, Manitoba. He's under contract with the Stingrays NHL affiliate, the Washington Capitals. Hofer has 2 assists in his last 3 games. Slow start to the season for him. He does have 2 assists in 10 games this season. He was scoreless on Sunday versus Orlando. He's starting to heat up. Gladiators hoping that he cools down. Starting at right wing here today for the Stingrays. Wearing number 13 is Dean Locus. Standing at 5'10", 180 pounds, the Michigan native has 3 assists in 10 games for the Stingrays. Last season with South Carolina, Locus had 5 goals and 7 assists for 12 points in 53 games. Getting the start on the back end for the defense of the South Carolina Stingrays. It is number 27, DJ King, standing at 6'3", 220 pounds. Native of Scottsdale, Arizona, gets the start at left D with 1 goal on the season for 1 point. This is currently his 9th game of the season. His D partner is number 74, Connor Moore, standing at 5'10", 174 pounds. Native of Atlanta, Georgia, playing in his 11th game this season. Still looking for his first goal, but he does have 5 assists, which one of those came on Sunday against Orlando. Moore last season had 10 goals and 30 assists for 40 points in 65 games with the Stingrays. All career highs in goals and points. And getting the start between the pipes for the Stingrays here today is the reigning ECHL goaltender of the week, number 34, Mitch Gibson, standing at 6'1", 187 pounds, native of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, gets the start for South Carolina. He has been one of the league's best as of late. former draft pick of the Washington Capitals back in 2018, round 4, 124 overall, is under contract with their AHL affiliate, the Hershey Bears. In his last outing, he stopped 25 of 26 and was a 4-1 win at Jacksonville last Saturday. He gets the start here today for South Carolina, who is led by head coach Dave Warsofsky, assistant coach Scott Davidson, and assistant coach Mike Hamilton. Now the starting lineup for your Atlanta Gladiators. Getting the start at left wing is number 18, Carson Denemy. Scored in the last matchup between these two, short-handed. Standing at 6'1", 194 pounds, the native of Regina, Saskatchewan. He's playing in his 10th game this season. Starting center here today is number 27, Mike McNamee, standing at 6 foot even, 200 pounds, native of Perth, Ontario. Gets the start at the center position. McNamee still looking for his first goal this season, but does have 4 assists. And getting the nod at right wing with the assist on the game-winning goal in Savannah on Saturday is Isaac Walter, wearing number 22, standing at 6'4", 205 pounds. The Swedish forward for the Gladiators has been consistent so far to start the season. 3 goals and 3 assists for 6 points. Walter, so fun to watch, and I've really liked him on that line that came together last weekend with Denemy and McNamee. They get the start here today for the Gladiators. On the back end, starting for the Gladiators on defense, it's number 6, Andrew Jarvis, the alternate captain, standing at 5'9", 181 pounds, native of Morrisburg, Ontario, still looking for his first goal. Does have 2 assists in 8 games so far this season. His D partner is number 2, Brendan Less, who's also been a very consistent player for the Gladiators on the back end, standing at 6'1", 181 pounds, the native of Kinnelon, New Jersey, rounds out the starting 5 skaters for the Gladiators. And the netminder here today, number 35, T.J. Septemfelter, standing at 6'1", 190 pounds. The native of Marlton, New Jersey, has been the best rookie goaltender in the ECHL, and he's making a statement that he could be the league's best goaltender to this point. Septemfelter, with a 4-0 record, making his 5th start here today, has a goals against average of 1 and a .953 save percentage. Those 2 figures lead all rookies in the ECHL. He's coming off of a 5-2 win in Jacksonville on Friday, in which he stopped 19 of 21. He is 3rd in the ECHL in save percentage. Should be a good goaltending duel here today between Gibson and Septemfelter. Gladiators are led by head coach Matt Ginn. Assistant coach is Zach Fennell. And our scratches here today are number 55, Peter Morgan, and number 12, Anthony Furiolo. And on IR for the Gladiators is number 23, Riley Appelt, number 11, Zach Yoder, and number 74, Dylan Carabia. Referees here tonight, it's a 3-man crew here in North Charleston Coliseum, led by Chaz Nochi, wearing number 33. Linesmen are Noah Ackerman, wearing number 62, and Shane Gustafson, wearing number 8. As that is the lowdown for the starting lineups here today between the Gladiators and the Stingrays, who meet for the 2nd out of 9 times this season. Gladiators have hit the ice. They're wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim. They will skate from left to right here, right to left to begin play here today. I'm on the opposite side of the camera. Got to flip my perspective a little bit. Gladiators will skate from right to left. Stingrays wearing red jerseys with white numbers and blue trim. It's basically the Washington Capitals jersey, but with a Stingray on the front. They will skate from left to right to begin play here today. As the Stingrays starting lineup is announced in-house here today. Looks to be a pretty good crowd here tonight for the Stingrays, who are celebrating veterans here today, as it is Jets and Vets night here tonight in North Charleston. And I'd like to extend a big thank you and a big shout out to all of our veterans back in Atlanta and around the country, as Veterans Day was earlier in the week on the 11th. I'd like to say a big thank you to all of our veterans. It is not an easy job that you all have, and we certainly thank you for fighting for our freedom. Those who are still currently fighting and those who have been lost in the fight for our freedom, we certainly extend our thanks on behalf of the entire Atlanta Gladiators organization as it gets rowdy here in North Charleston Coliseum. Stingrays have hit the ice. The Gladiators have as well. Coming up next here from the Coliseum, the national anthem. And we return for a spirited puck drop between the Stingrays and the Gladiators. Thank you for tuning in for the pregame report here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. We're back after this.
presentation of the colors. Welcome West Ashley High School Navy Junior ROTC. We do ask that you please remain standing until the colors have been retired after the performance of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the colors. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the performance of our national anthem tonight, presented by Patriots Point Naval and Maritime Museum, it is time for us to honor our great nation. Please welcome from the United States Air Force, Master Sergeant Retired Nalani Quintello. Please remain standing for the retiring of the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, the West Ashley High School Navy Junior ROTC presenting the colors tonight. And in the anthem, Master Sergeant Retired Nalani Quintello.
I thought they were going to be down there for a second, yeah.
Time now to introduce our ceremonial contract. Please welcome Chris Bradley. Chris is a Marine Corps veteran. It is a
We are all set and ready to go from North Charleston Coliseum, home of the South Carolina Stingrays. Gladiators' first visit to the Coliseum this season. Should be a lot of fun as the top two teams in the South Division do battle here today. I'm Chiarenza bringing you all the action here live on Flow Sports and YouTube as well from wherever you're watching or listening. Happy to have you with us here tonight, as it should be a good one between two of the South Division's best. Second meeting out of 9 this season, first in North Charleston between South Carolina and Atlanta this season. Gladiators are led by head coach Matt Ginn. Stingrays led by Dave Warsofsky. 3-man officiating crew here today. Chaz Nochi, wearing number 33. Is our referee. Linesmen are Noah Ackman wearing number 62, Shane Gustafson wearing number 8. Your starting netminders here today. Reigning ECHL goaltender of the week, Mitch Gibson gets the start for South Carolina in his last start. Stopped 25 of 26 in a 4-1 win at Jacksonville on Saturday. For the Gladiators, it is TJ Septemfelter leading the lead, tearing it up. He has been sensational. He is coming off of a 19 out of 21 save performance at Jacksonville on Friday, in which was a 5-2 victory. Puck is dropped. We are underway. from North Charleston Coliseum. Puck is dumped down by the Gladiators. Giving chase is Mike McNamee. Finds Denemy in the near corner. McNamee behind the net, tries to stuff it in. Ends up going through the blue paint and out the other side. Shot by Les, the rebound there for Denemy, and that is eaten up by Gibson. And our first stoppage of the night comes 19 seconds in. Gladiators already pressuring early. Great stuff there from that Denemy, McNamee, and Walter line, getting things started for the Gladiators here today. Simple face-off win, dump it down. McNamee gets to work, throws the puck out in front. Denemy with a good chance there, which was stopped by Gibson. Face-off on the near circle will be taken by Louis Boudon and the second line who come on. Stingrays have it. Rodzinski tries to clear the zone. It ends up staying in. Francis tries to power to the goal, ends up getting brushed aside to the end wall. From there, Boudon grinds, gets it back to Francis. From low to high, shot by Jarvis, whistles wide left of Gibson. Rebound picked up by Wilkins for South Carolina, floats it forward for Kupka. Gladiators able to get in front of that, and Brendan Less has it for Atlanta. They'll spin it around to the near side for Sylvester. The captain scored a power play goal to start the road trip in Jacksonville. Boudon gains the zone, winds it down to the end wall. Sylvester will give chase. Stingrays get there first, get it to the line, but not out. Nychuk forces the narrative, keeps the puck in the zone, bats it out of the air, not once but twice, and is able to get it to Sylvester. Puck hopping like a frog on a pond is finally jammed out to center by Wilkins of South Carolina. Make that Kupka, excuse me. And the Stingrays try and grab it, but the Gladiators not making it easy. In comes Nychuk, left side, tries to dance around the defender, plays it to the blue paint. It's stopped by Gibson. Rebound collected by the Stingrays. Riley Webb will float it through the neutral zone. It'll simmer down in the far corner. Right there is Mateer, had the game-winning goal for the Gladiators on Saturday in Savannah. Able to locate Cipollone on the far side. Gets it to center, and Young will tap it in. Alex Young in a board battle in front of the Stingrays bench. Surges forward a bit. South Carolina able to possess. They knock it to the neutral zone where Robillati tries to float it forward. A couple of whacks for the Gladiators. They drive it down and get a line change in. Nolan tried to play that puck. Was offside as the change was in the midst. Clock stops 2 minutes into the first period. First three shots of the game belong to Atlanta. Interesting broadcast perch here at North Charleston Coliseum. Cameras on the opposite side of me, so I got to learn to flip my perspective, and also chilling with some fans here 2 rows back. So I'm actually sitting in a stadium seat right now. It's a pretty intimate environment. Face off in front of the Stingrays bench. Ethan Scardina, the Bowling Green product, wins it for Atlanta, and they drive it back in. One of the Mac-In's keys was to play in the Stingrays zone. They've done a good job of doing that so far. Keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda. One of them was to make the Stingrays defend, and that is what the Gladiators have done to start the game. Mickey Burns tosses it into an open space in the neutral zone. Stingrays get there and pound it in. Goes wide right of Septemfelter. He taps it to the near corner. South Carolina working it towards the middle. Atlanta boxes them out, and here comes Scardina. Gains the red line. Glad's going to change him behind the scenes. Now here come the Stingrays. Up ahead is Guzzo. Gets shut down nicely by Denemy. Puck squeaks over to the far corner. Stingrays keep possession. Howardchuk coming off of a 3-point performance on Sunday. Tries to grab it in the corner. Power his way to the slot. Gladiators force him off the puck and clear the zone. 17:05 left in the first. Still in the early going of this game. Gladiators doing a nice job of playing in the Stingrays zone and defending, as we saw on that last shift. Back out there is the first line. McNamee, Walter, and Denemy. Stingrays down the left wing. Hofer jams it below the goal line. Walter gets it in the corner, angles it off the wall to Jarvis. Behind the net, surveys the scene, finds Denemy. Quick pass, and Walter's on the move. Walter down the right wing, feeds it to the middle for McNamee, and his shot is eaten up by Gibson. 3:24 into the first. The Gladiators are buzzing. First 4 shots of the game belong to them, and a couple of good chances for that first line. They will head off. On comes the second. Sylvester, Boudon, and Francis. Gladiators shuffle their lines after the loss to Greenville on the 5th. Things have been buzzing ever since on a 2-game win streak. Wins against Jacksonville and Savannah. Good start here in North Charleston. Stingrays clear the zone. It will go for an icing And so back down we go near Gibson. So South Carolina's netminder coming off of a good stretch in which he won the ECHL Goaltender of the Week award, hit by Warrior Hockey. Stopped 25 of 26 in a 4-1 win against Jacksonville on Saturday. 2-0 record in that week span, 1.5 goals against average, a .958 save percentage. Very, very good, although I would argue TJ Septemfelter across from him, one of the only goaltenders in the league that has been better. Shot goes in on goal to Gibson. He is able to make a save, falls on his backside to make it. And fans still trying to find their seats as the puck was moving there. So I just barely saw that, but looked like it was a good chance from Matier on the replay in-house. Took a chance from the high slot. Kick saved by the right toe of Gibson. Sets up a face-off to his right. Glads win the offensive zone face-off. Matier can't keep it alive at the line. Sylvester tried to brush it his way, so Francis will knock it in. And Boudon, the French forward, will give chase. Doesn't win that race to Gibson as he prods it over to the far wall. Wilkins there for South Carolina, has a hand on it, finds Rodzinski on the left wing. And the Stingrays will scramble out. Pushes a pass down the left wing for Bolson. Stops at the circle, feeds it on goal to Septemfelter. He's able to kick it away. Wilkins, top of the left circle, drops it back for Rodzinski. Point to point, has an open man. Stingrays continue to distribute the puck around. Kupka around the horn behind Septemfelter, looking for Bolson. Getting in front of that was Nychuk, and he sends it down to the ice. Good check there for Nychuk. Wilkins now in the near corner, prods it from low to high. Riley across to Rodzinski. Back to the middle for Bolson. Stripped of the puck nicely by Nychuk. And the Gladiators will clear. Fans, make your pick as to who is going to score the first goal here tonight. Presented by Hancock Whitney Bank. You can also predict the first assist presented by Pinnacle Promotions. As in comes Lind. Drop pass for Conroy. Takes the return feed, has a trailer, and Robilotti who fires wide. Rebound held in by Conroy. He'll serve it around to the right side for Robilotti. Tried to take another shot. Second one gets there on Gibson. He's able to make the save. Now behind the net, Lind leaves it for Robilotti. He comes way down from his perch on the blue line. Make a good play there. Stingrays get out to center. In on the right side they come. Glad shut them down. Cipolone surges up ice. Krenzen around the boards to Breen. Lipin with 2 goals on Sunday. Comes in. Quick passing. Left side shot off the body of Les to the end wall. Cipolone has the rebound. Strings Jarvis into motion. Gains the attacking zone. Finds Burns for a left side shot. That is absorbed by Gibson and frozen. 5:37 into the first. Shot count reads 7-1 in favor of the Gladiators. Been a good shot count already for the Gladiators. Good start offensively. Another face-off in the offensive zone for Atlanta. Face-off one. Jarvis at the left point steers it down low to Nolan. Behind the cage, tries to feather it out in front. It's broken up by the Stingrays. Surging upwards is Cooley. Cross finds Howardchuk, sidesteps his way in. Tried to drop it back, but on the back check there was Scardina for Atlanta. And the Glads will repossess. Good start offensively and defensively for the Gladiators. The only thing that's missing is a goal. South Carolina ices the puck. We'll pay another visit to Gibson, and it's been a very uneventful start for TJ Septemfelter. For the Gladiators, you'll take that all day, any day. The more time you spend in the Stingray zone, the better. As they do say that offense is the best defense. On is that first line again. McNamee, Denemy, and Walter. They have produced the Gladiators' best chances to start the game so far. Another face-off win for Atlanta. This time taken care of by McNamee. Left side shot by Nychuk. He's broken up out in front. Stingrays glide it down, and that will not have enough steam for an icing. South Carolina able to get a change in. So it is Matier, stationed behind Septemfelter. Finds Nychuk, who just like Matier is on an AHL deal with Milwaukee. We'll get a lay of the land here and start the next Gladiator breakout. Looking for Denemy up ahead, trying to poke it into the attacking zone. Instead, it goes to Hofer at the blue line. So McNamee tries to spring it into South Carolina's zone and does. Able to whack it down to Gibson and get off for a line change. Back out there comes that second line for Atlanta. Meanwhile, Moore shuffles it to the left wing looking for Edwards, playing in game number 4 this season for South Carolina. He knocks it down behind Semptimphelter. Bodies jostle. Out of the pile comes Conroy. Cross-ice pass, gets impeded a bit, but does make its way to Boudon. There's it ahead for Francis. Tried to spin around Webb. Couldn't quite do it. Puck leaps back into his possession behind the goal line. Centering feed. Quick chance for Sylvester. That is stopped by Gibson. Bang, bang play. And upwards goes Wilkins on the left wing. Tries to pivot. Defended well by Robilotti. Has a trailer. And now on the left side, it's Rodzinski. Tries to fire. It's blocked by Conroy. Forced out of the zone there by the Yale product. Job well done. Gets off for a line change. Back in comes Rodzinski. Stops and shoots off a leg. And out of play. 12:18 left in the first period. Shot count reads 8-1 in favor of the Gladiators. They have done a sensational job here to start today's game. The only thing missing is a goal. That's a timeout on the ice. We'll take one as well. Still scoreless here from North Charleston Coliseum. This is the Gladiators Broadcast Network on Flow Sports and YouTube.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger, fresh forever.
Still scoreless here at North Charleston Coliseum, but the Gladiators have certainly been the better team so far, outshooting the Stingrays 8-1 to this point with 12:18 left in the first period. Out there right now for the Gladiators, Lind, Young, Cipolone, Les, and Jarvis. Alex Young, 4 points in his last 2 games, had 2 assists in that win over Savannah on Saturday. The 2-1 victory factored in on both goals, including the primary assist on the overtime winner. Young tied for the team lead with 10 points, along with Chad Nychuk. On the end wall, Les tries to jab it to the neutral zone and does. Rodzinski there to collect for South Carolina. They will knock it into the attacking end off the stick of Bolson. Jarvis back to work. Looks it around the boards to Lind. Scurries to the red line. Runs it ahead for Cipolone. Nice deke. Shot in tight. Is turned away by Gibson. Cipolone split the D. Had a good chance, but Gibson got the better of him. Now it's Young from the far corner. Able to launch it to the slot. Nobody home. Stingrays move up ice. It's a 4-on-2 developing for South Carolina. Kupka on the left wing. Feeds it to the middle. Backhand shy for Wilkins. And Semptimphelter is there to make the save. Wasn't very busy to start the night, but when his number is called upon, he was ready. Looked like the Gladiators had it all closed up on the boards. Puck leaks to the middle. Wilkins is there. Backhand try denied by Semptimphelter. He has been one of the league's best. He leads all goaltenders, rookie goaltenders that is, in goals against average and save percentage as he makes another stop there on the faceoff victory on Pinard. And he is third best in the league in save percentage, entering the night with a .953 save percentage. Great start to the year for Semptimphelter. Face off to his left. Won by South Carolina. Klimek around the boards to the near corner. Gladiators trying to hang on to it. In the high slot, grabbed by Nolan. Quickly pressured by Klimek. Activating from the back end. Atlanta now has it cleanly. And over the red line goes Mickey Burns. Gains South Carolina blue. Jabs it below the goal line. South Carolina able to get there, and as quickly as it entered, get right back out. Lipin tries to split the D. Atlanta having none of it. Back it comes to Moore fresh off the bench. He finds Breen on the left wing. And the Gladiators are immediately there to meet him. Puck leaks back to Mateer. He'll chuck it to the left wing for Nychuk. He'll head to the bench as Scardina stays out on the forecheck to pressure. Denemy on. Long chance for South Carolina. Stretch pass does make its way to Cooley. From behind the net, surges over to the far corner. Robolani there to meet it. Locates Denemy, and Atlanta will look to break out. Denemy throws it to the neutral zone. Will go off the stick of Guzzo. Back to the Glad's defense, and so here they go again. From the red line, Conroy pounds it in. They go around the board, simmered down by Walter, throws it in front, off the stick and away from danger. Conroy diving, keeps it in the offensive zone. Good play there from Ryan Conroy. McNamee on the forecheck, almost creates a turnover. South Carolina able to hang on. Still scoreless with 9:51 left in the first period. Shot count reads 9-3 in favor of Atlanta. They'll wind it in. And first line gets off for a line change as McNamee jostling with Howarchuk both on the way to the bench. Meanwhile, Francis out there on the forecheck for Atlanta, putting on some pressure as Webb stretches it to the neutral zone off the stick of Edwards. Puck will go out of play with 9:29 left in the first. Puck goes out of play. We'll get a new one. Face off in the neutral zone. Atop the Gladiators' blue line. Boudon will take it against Hofer. Hofer, a former draft pick of the Washington Capitals back in 2022, round 6, 181 overall, is currently on a contract with the Capitals. He was able to win that face-off. South Carolina gets in from the right side wall. Hofer spinning, digs his way deeper, finds Edwards back to the middle for Hofer, and it leaped over his stick right in front of Semptimphelter. Jarvis now from the end wall, jockeying there a bit, able to keep puck possession. Gladiators exit, quick pass to Francis, and he's on the move. Behind the back pass has the captain Sylvester on the left side. He's rubbed off the puck by Rodzinski. Boudon steps in to help out, keeps possession for Atlanta. Boudon from the wall, tried to steer it down low. Rodzinski there to meet him again. Gets it to the line for Nychuk now. Nychuk feathering out in front, looking for a tip from Boudon. Shot goes wide of Gibson. Tier bats it at the line to keep it in. Stingrays touch it, no hand pass called. As South Carolina did possess that puck, Gladiators get a line change in. As the Stingrays volley it to the Atlanta blue line. Backhanding it in is Bulson. Giving chase is Wilkins. Meets it at the end wall with Mateer. From low to high, Stingrays have it. Krenzen over to Klimek. Around the wall, Stingrays stay the perimeter. Kupka over on the right side, gains the top of the circle, feeds Krenzen for a one-timer. Turned away by Semptimphelter. Crowd here in Charleston trying to get their team going. Nice offensive zone sequence for the Stingrays to start, and it ends off a fumble from Krenzen at the blue line. Puck goes out to the neutral zone. Stingrays forced to try and come back in, but puck goes to Mateer. And Atlanta has possession. 7:41 left in the first period. Shot count reads 9-4 in favor of the Gladiators. Here comes Conroy. Gliding through the neutral zone. Has Burns on the left side. His shot goes wide of Gibson. Plops over on the far end. Burns gets it back. High slot shot over the glove of Gibson. Has the rebound off a return feed from the corner, but can't quite corral it. Here come the Stingrays. 3-on-3 into the Atlanta zone. They'll wind it in behind Semptimphelter. Pinard, backhand chance in front. Turned away by an active stick of Semptimphelter. Right side shot blockered away by Semptimphelter. Now activating from the back end is King. Finds Pinard down low. Behind the back pass is intercepted by Scardina. And the Gladiators scurry out to center. Burns lifts it to the far corner for Nolan. Ryan Nolan made a few games with Adirondack last season, working with Denemy here. Able to get off for a line change, and on comes Walter. Stingrays with possession. Howarchuk gains the red line, pops it down to the right of Semptimphelter, angled off the end wall, gathered by Jarvis. Howarchuk on the forecheck tries to swindle it away, and does. Whacks it over to the far side wall. Stingrays have possession. Rodzinski at the left point, can't keep it in. Miscue there for South Carolina. Back down they go near Gibson. Atlanta putting on the heat. Stingrays will stretch it into the Atlanta zone. Puck will bounce to the left of Septemfelter. Thrown around the boards by Les. It'll boomerang back to him. A little over 6 minutes left in the period. These two teams were scoreless in their last meeting in the first period at Gas Out Arena. No scoring in that game until the first minute of the third period, in which Denemy scored shorthanded in what was a 2-1 Gladiator victory. On the left side, it's Edwards rumbling on in. Nice defensive play by Matita to shake him off the puck. Takes him to the end wall. Stingrays fans want a penalty, none to be had. Even the play line at the line is Krenzen. Dances to the left circle. He'll shoot, fought off by Septemfelter. The rebound available. South Carolina has it. Klemek holds and shoots off the post and out. Septemfelter scrambling around. I'm not sure he saw it. Gets some love from the iron, and we stay scoreless. Now it's Sylvester. Takes a shot in the high slot, and his stick breaks. Unfortunate there for Sylvester. Has to head back to the bench. Cipollone comes on. South Carolina pokes it in, and they get a line change of their own. Good chances for both squads on either end. Still scoreless in the final 5 minutes of the first. Alex Young shiftily works his way to the red line. Brushes it to the left wing for Lind. Dances his way in and gets boxed off the puck. Long there to reclaim it. Fires a shot wide of Gibson. Gladiators came right down the barrel, right down the middle. The Stingrays able to survive that chance. Now it's King over the red line, forcing it into the attacking zone. Puck behind Septemfelter. Conroy knocks it to Robilotti. Kennard on the forecheck, working against the former Bloomington Bison, but Robilotti able to free it to the neutral zone. Stingrays come right back in. Kennard from the right side dances in front. Septemfelter makes the save, and Jarvis with a good play on the back check as well. South Carolina still with possession. Breen from the high slot shoots. It goes off a leg and out of play behind Septemfelter with 4:02 left in the first. So early on, it was Atlanta with the pressure. Recently, it's been South Carolina, as after the whistle, Kennard getting into it. If I believe that is Kalen Lind, although we'll check to make sure. And it is. Smile on his face. He thrives in this kind of environment. Although it looks like he's getting called for a penalty. With 4:02 left in the first. It's a timeout on the ice. We'll see what we have when we come back. Still scoreless here from North Charleston. We're back after this. First power play of the night belongs to South Carolina. Kalen Lind in the box with 4:02 left in the first. Gets 2 minutes for roughing at the end of that last play. Got caught in a scuffle, and so the Stingrays to the man advantage. Gladiators to the penalty kill. South Carolina 1 for 2 on the power play in their last game against Orlando. Bernard had the PPG. Stingrays power play operating at 19.2%. That's 10th best in the league. Gladiator penalty kill, 86.7%. That's 11th best in the ECHL. Rodzinski at the line has it. Brushes it to his right for Bolson. Return pass back to Rodzinski. Finds Bolson on the right circle. Can't quite corral it. Les gets there for Atlanta and clears to start the PK. The quartet for the Gladiators here on the PK. Les, Jarvis, Denemy, and Cipollone. Bolson to the right side finds Howardchuk. Will be defended by Denemy, who steps in front of it, delays for a moment, doesn't find an avenue to get it out, so rolls it back to Jarvis, and he will clear back down to Gibson. Good awareness there from Denemy. Already 45 seconds and a little bit more gone off the clock here on the penalty to Lind. Leipen gains the red line, brushes it to his left, looking for Kupka. About a foot too far ahead of him. Gladiators get in front of it. Puck pinballs to the slot, skidded out of danger by Boudon, and he'll mail it down for another Gladiator clear. Gibson well out to play it. Will leave it for Connor Moore. The Atlanta native locates Kupka. Drop pass, picked off by Burns. There's the surge in on the right side, but Pinard gets back there for South Carolina. Stingrays bump it up to the neutral zone, and in comes Wilkins. Has Leipen left side. He'll shoot. A high riser goes off the end wall and stays in play. Bit of a pop fly there. Puck goes into the referee's skates in the near corner. Gladiators skate it out. 3-on-2 shorthanded. It's Nychuk. Dropping it for Boudon. Finds Burns in the middle, who shoots. Shot goes wide. Chance on the second attempt, shut down by Gibson. Another for Nychuk. Wide open. Below the far circle is gloved down by Gibson with 2:11 left in the first. All that coming shorthanded with 9 seconds left on the penalty to Lind. It sure would be nice if the ushers here could stop letting fans move up and down these stairs in front of me while play was going on. Face off to the left of Gibson. McNamee will take it for Atlanta. Still shorthanded for the next 9 seconds. South Carolina wins the face-off. Will scurry out to center. Penalty expires. Now in the box is Lind. So the Gladiators go 1 for 1 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill to begin the game. Walter now over the red line, gains the South Carolina zone, drops it back for Denemy, feeds it to the middle, chance for Conroy, shot goes wide, put to the middle, and oh, what a stop by Gibson! Unbelievable, got spin around like a turnstile and was able to keep it out. Wow. Now bodies converge in front of the Gladiators bench. A check was thrown on Klimek. South Carolina not happy about it. Stingrays get a partial change in as Francis, backhand try, goes over the goal wide of Gibson. Rebound gathered by Breen. His clearing attempt gets to the line. Out to center now, Sylvester battling there for it with Leipen. Drop pass to Pinard, and his shot goes wide of Septemfelter. A high riser with momentum that carries the puck out to the neutral zone. Into the final minute of the first. 50 seconds left. Francis from the red line. Steers over to the left side, looking for Boudon. Contested puck. Slid down below the goal line by the Frenchman. Sylvester there to meet it, working against DJ King. Francis there to help out as well. Stingrays able to get it and float it to the neutral zone. Les will simmer it down. 30 seconds to go in the period. Sylvester grinding against Bolson. Tries to get a piece of the puck. Jarvis there as well. Puck is lifted to center ice and now over the head of Septemfelter to the end wall. Nychuk will possess there. 10 seconds left. There's a chance for Young over the red line. Gains the attacking zone. Tried to shoot. Puck rolled off his stick. And Atlanta's offside with 3.3 to go. So it looks like all indicators are pointing to this being another scoreless first period between the Stingrays and the Gladiators. Stingrays win the draw, clock runs out, and to the first intermission we go, scoreless in North Charleston. And after the horn blew, right back into the thick of it is Kalen Lind talking with Caden Bolson and the referee, Chaz Noche, saying, let's go, back to the locker room. And so should be an exciting second period between these two South Division rivals. No score, but a little bit of nastiness towards the end. Stingrays go 0 for 1 on the power play to start the night. That means the Gladiators have gone 1 for 1 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. Good start for the Gladiators. Shot count reads 11-7 in favor of Atlanta after 1. We'll talk all about what just happened here in the first period between South Carolina and Atlanta. Coming up next on the first intermission report, we'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. And I'm going to check in on our YouTube chat and see what all you guys are thinking of tonight's game. Make sure you comment in our YouTube chat to be featured on the chat check. I want to hear your thoughts on today's game. If you watched that Global Series game between Nashville, our affiliate, and Pittsburgh over in Sweden, let me know your thoughts on that as well. I want to hear from you here in the first intermission report. Tell me all about it on the other side of the break. After 1, no score here from North Charleston Coliseum. We are back in a moment on the Gladiators Broadcast Network.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh.
Sometimes
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Back here in North Charleston Coliseum, no score through 1 period of play, but it has been exciting action between the Gladiators and the Stingrays. Currently the top two teams in the South Division, Atlanta with 16 points at 8-1, South Carolina with 14 points at 7-3. This to the South Division's best, and first place is on the line here today. So, a lot going on here in North Charleston, but not necessarily on the stat sheet. Still scoreless here after 1 period of play, which was where we were on the last meeting between these two teams in Duluth on the 2nd of November. So not a lot to talk about there, but Gladiators have done a nice job here offensively today. Getting chances in on Gibson. Talk about that in a moment, but interesting development here at the end of the period. The Gladiators will start the second period on the power play. So at the end of all that, we mentioned that there was a bit of a scuffle at the end. Riley Webb was there. Bolson for South Carolina. Kaylin Lind in the thick of it. Lind got called for a penalty in the first period. Stingrays went to the power play with about a little over 4 minutes left in the period. Glads go to the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. They get the job done. They've been excellent at that this season. 4 for 4 on Saturday against Savannah. 1 for 1 to start here today against the Stingrays. So Lynn back in the thick of it at the end of the period. This time he draws a penalty, and so Riley Webb goes to the box to start the second period. Atlanta will have the full 2 minutes on the power play thanks to a roughing call against Webb at the end of the first period. So we'll see the Eco-Electric power play at the beginning of the period, and we'll see if Atlanta can break their power play woes. They did score on the power play once from Cody Sylvester in last Friday's game against Jacksonville in the 5-2 victory, but seem to have run cold since. We'll see if they can break their scoring woes on the man advantage at the start of the second period. So overall, shot count at the end of one reads 11-7 in favor of Atlanta. And the Gladiators had the margin by a wide margin there for much of the first period. Atlanta came out hot, and hot they came out as they won the opening faceoff, popped it down near Gibson, and they just got to work. Really, I mean, it was just the keys to the game presented by Beaver Toyota Mazda. One of them from head coach Matt Ginn was to make the Stingrays defend, and that's exactly what the Gladiators did to start the game. It really felt like Atlanta was doing everything right except for scoring a goal, and because of that, the Stingrays got a little bit of momentum. Each save that gives them. And so you find yourself in a point at the end of the period to where South Carolina's getting chances of their own. And there was a point in time where I think it was 8-1 in favor of the Gladiators in the shot count, and all of a sudden TJ Septenfelter makes a sensational save on Josh Wilkins. So it was just an innocent play for the Stingrays, kind of just rumbling their way down here on the far side boards. And all of a sudden, they're able to get it to Wilkins between the circles. Tries to put a nice backhand shot on Septenfelter one-on-one. And TJ's there to make the save. Man, has he been special to start this season for Atlanta. Making his 5th start here today for the Gladiators. Didn't see a lot of action to start the game, but boy, when he was called upon, he was fantastic. And so the Stingrays, from that point on, started to push the Gladiators a little bit, get a little pressure on. But TJ Septenfelter up to the task, and it kind of felt like coming into the night that because of what we saw in the last meeting, which was a Sunday game, a 2-1 victory for the Gladiators that day, that because of those trends that we saw in that game, what the statistics would say, and the goaltending matchup between Gibson and Septenfelter, it felt like tonight was probably going to be a lower scoring game. And that's exactly what we've got so far. So Septenfelter playing the best out of any rookie goaltender in the ECHL coming into the night. He has a perfect first period, stopping 7 of 7. And Gibson, the reigning ECHL Warrior Hockey goaltender of the week, stops 11 of 11 in the first period. And we've got a goaltending duel on our hands. Septenfelter, the starting goalie, as they have been alternating starts, him and Hyder, since the start of the season. Both were assigned by Milwaukee to the Gladiators at the start of the season. And so they've been alternating starts since opening day. This is the Gladiators' 10th game, so Septenfelter's 5th start. Hyder got his 5th on that Saturday win in Savannah. But now with Hyder being called up to Milwaukee, the Gladiators signed Logan Stein earlier in the week. He is a true bona fide rookie, has not played a professional game. Septenfelter did get one AHL game with Bridgeport in last season. But seems like right now the net is Septenfelter's here today, and look for him to maybe get a back-to-back start tomorrow potentially against the Jacksonville Icemen, because he's just been playing that good. And I really think that TJ Septenfelter has got to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. I know it's very early on in the season, but boy, has he been special. He has been really, really good, and the product of the University of North Dakota has not disappointed so far this season. Again, 3rd in the ECHL in save percentage with a .953 save percentage entering the night. Leads all rookies in goals against average with a goals against average of 1. And of course, that .953 save percentage had the one shutout against Florida to start the season. And I mean, he's just been fantastic. He's been very, very special. And so for the Gladiators, they did a nice job offensively, helping him out to start the period. Again, offense is the best defense. Played a lot in that South Carolina zone. But as the period went on, and Gibson made more saves of his own, South Carolina starting to get a little mojo. Went down near Septenfelter, got a couple of chances in, and so when he was needed, made those stops. And so I really like to highlight the Gladiators' defense there in that first period. I thought they did a really nice job of keeping things to the outside. Outside of that one play from Wilkins, where he was able to kind of free himself up in the slot, kind of just go in there unnoticed. Gladiators have done a really good job of limiting the Stingrays' chances in high danger situations, and they've also done a really nice job on the back check and blocking shots. I think Ryan Conroy and Brendan Less have done a really good job of that for Atlanta here in today's game. Jack Mateer getting a couple of blocks in. And of course, Chad Nychuk has just been so good for Atlanta offensively and defensively this season. It's been a full team effort in the first period, but no goals yet to show for it. And this Gladiators team, as we've seen this season, has been patient in games like this. They haven't let it fall behind them. And so we'll see How it shakes out here in the second period. Atlanta doing a nice job of defending. We'll see if they can sneak one by Gibson here in the second period, as both goaltenders are playing lights out. Intimate atmosphere here and SoCo, as here in North Charleston Coliseum, I got my off-ice officials to my left, and I got a lot of fans behind me right here in the grandstands. So good atmosphere. Been a rowdy bunch. Gladiators unfazed. They have been perfect on the road so far this season, 4-0. Entering the night. This is game 3 of a 4-game road trip for Atlanta. So comment your thoughts here in the live chat on our YouTube side of things, and we'll get to it on a chat check on the other side of the break. I want to hear from you, the fans, on how you're doing here on this Friday night. Your thoughts on the game, and if you saw the Global Series game between the Predators and the Penguins earlier today. We'll talk about that on the other side of the break. We'll also get to the scores from around the league as well, as this is the Gladiators Broadcast Network, still scoreless, and the first intermission here from North Charleston. We're back after this.
Like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track. We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
We educate you on how to get to the root cause and give you a play-by-play strategy on how to get you back to 100%.
We even use lasers.
Lasers!
Our $49 first experience includes a complete set of comprehensive chiropractic x-rays, a fit 3D scan, and your first life-changing adjustment. Visit us and break the ice. Discover the power of chiropractic care at 100%.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Welcome back to the tail end of the first intermission report here at North Charleston Coliseum, where the Gladiators and Stingrays are scoreless after one. I'm Guy Chiarenza here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, bringing you all the action here today, as Atlanta and South Carolina, the two top teams in the South Division, doing battle. One battle. Hashtag one battle. We're having some fun here today, as let's do a live check on our YouTube chat. Good to see a lot of familiar faces in here. Justin Burke, good to see you. Annika, Stadium Arena, and Stadium Arena 2, husband and wife. What a dynamic duo that is. Fuzzy, good to see you. J9 as well. Tracy Hayes, good to see you. Teresa Newman, members of the Booster Club in the house. The gang's all here. Heather Morrison, good to see you. Camping Chick, Amy Palmer, Rebecca B, Joe Mama. Everybody's here on a fun night in North Charleston. Karen Zahner, good to see you as well. Had a fun game over across the pond earlier today. Nashville Predators took down the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 in a thrilling overtime game. Predators tied that game late in the third. And then Steven Stamkos gets the OT winner for the Predators, our proud AHL affiliate. They'll play another game in Sweden on Sunday. And so it should be a lot of fun. Fuzzy says, I need my own enforcer here in the building. Yeah, I think I do. There are some fans that don't quite understand the rules yet here, it seems. Maybe the ushers not as well, but you really shouldn't be able to move up and down the the stairs here while the puck is in play. Unfortunately, it's happened a couple of times, and I can't quite stand here because there are fans 2 rows back of me, so I don't want to impede their vision. We want everybody to have a good game here today. So it's been a bit of a rough start for them here today, but I'm sure they'll lock in here down the stretch. And Fuzzy, yes, we do have a power play to start the second period. Riley Webb got called for 2 minutes for roughing at the end of the first period, so Atlanta will start the second period on the Eco Electric power play. Good to see Peach Fuzz 27 back in the house. Adam says, go TJ, we're rooting for you. I'll pass that along to TJ. Boy, has he had a great start to the season. He's been fantastic. Fuzzy says, how many headsets do they have? How many broadsides do they have? He sees 3 headsets in use. So these fellas to my left are the off-ice officials. They're taking care of business here. Like I said, in a very intimate environment. We're very close to each other here today. Emma Schnibby asks, who's your pick for the first Glad's goal? Yes, you can still go to our social media channels and vote on who is going to score the first goal and who is going to score the first assist. First goal is presented by Hancock Whitney Bank. First assist presented by Pinnacle Promotions. Go check that out. I believe there are some prizes in store, so go check that out. I see your answers here in the YouTube chat. I love that, but could be some prizes tied to that, so make sure you go check that out. Good stuff going on here. Aggressive Kangaroo, that's a newcomer. Welcome, says, call it wishful thinking, but I feel like if the Gladiators went top of the season, NHL will wise up and bring us a franchise. Maybe, and the Gladiators are right now on top of the world, on top of the ECHL right now, 8-1 start. Things could not be better for the Gladiators. They have won their last 2 here on the road trip, and they do have a 4-0 record on the road entering today's matchup. Amy Palmer says they need to rent you one of the party boxes for the next game. Yeah, that would be nice. I would quite enjoy that, but it's not too bad of an atmosphere. You kind of get it from a fan's perspective. You know what? I will personally say that I don't mind this vantage point as much. Not necessarily because I'm just hanging out here with the off-ice officials and hanging out with the fans, but the thing that really gets me is that the camera's on the opposite side of me. So for those of you who are not in the broadcasting world, throughout that entire first period, every near side was actually my far side, and the far side was actually my near side. So you kind of actively think there. It makes it a little tough, but a little challenging there with the cameras on the opposite side of you. So fun stuff there in the first period. Good to see April D in the house as well. And getting set for second period action here in North Charleston. So let's do a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard here on a busy night in the ECHL. We'll start with the South Division games. We got one going on in Greenville, Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Tie game between the Swamp Rabbits and the Everblades, 1-1 at the start of the second period there. The Ghost Pirates in Norfolk take on the Admirals. They lead them 2-0 at the start of the second period. And it looks like that is all the South Division action here today. We'll be in Jacksonville tomorrow to take on the Icemen to round out the road trip. And then there's a pretty lengthy homestand for the Gladiators. 5-game homestand, the end of the month of November. Good to see you all in person. I like the sound of that. And we get things started here for the second period between Atlanta and South Carolina. So, again, for those of you who are just joining us, the Gladiators do a good job of putting some chances in on Gibson there in the first period, but boy, was he good. Somehow, some way, the puck stayed out of the net on a couple of chances. He was dynamite in the first. TJ Septemfelter, just as good. Stopped 7-7 in the first. Gibson 11 of 11. Both squads are back out there for the second period. Gladiators will skate from left to right here in period 2. Stingrays from right to left. As you see it on Flow Sports, we'll paint a picture for you in your mind's eye on YouTube. Atlanta wearing their white jerseys with blue numbers and Gladiator gold trim. Stingrays with red jerseys with white numbers and blue trim. It is basically the Washington Capitals home jersey, but with the Stingrays logo on the front. And so Atlanta on the power play to start the period. They'll just send that first unit well rested out there to start the period. McNamee, Nychuk, Boudon, Francis, and the captain, Cody Sylvester. Sylvester does have one power play goal in the season. He scored it in the opening game of the road trip in the 5-2 win against Jacksonville. Alex Young actually leads the Gladiators in power play goals this season with 2. And I believe both of those came in the same game, a 5-3 win in Orlando on the 23rd of October. Puck is dropped and away we go to start the second period. Atlanta begins it on the Eco-Electric power play. Their first power play of the night. Atlanta's power play operating at 17.2%, to the 16th best in the ECHL. South Carolina's penalty kill, 84.6%. Middle of the pack, 15th best in the league. And they come shorthanded. Backhand try for Leipen. Stopped by Stingrays. Not exactly the way the Gladiators wanted to start the power play, but right back in comes Francis Boudon. Francis shoots from the left circle. Goes off a stick over the head of Gibson. And out of play, 32 seconds in. Face-off to the right of Gibson. McNamee in that first unit will stay out there. He will take the face-off against Ryan Hofer. Face-off is won by the Gladiators. Left point shot by Boudon gets blocked. He'll grind his way down the wall. Pass from low to high finds Nychuk. Right side shot by Sylvester is blocked. Nychuk keeps the play alive at the line. He'll catapult it around the boards to Sylvester on the right side. Finds Boudon in the right circle, but has it peeled away by Hofer, and the Stingrays will clear. Fresh penalty killers on for South Carolina. That first unit for the Gladiators will stay out there in the second minute of the power play. 53 seconds left on the penalty to Webb. Boudon from the red line tries to come barreling in, gets stood up at the blue line, so Nychuk finds McNamee, and he'll rifle it around the board to the right side. Waiting is Sylvester. As Nychuk at the right point takes in the return pass. Tried to go back to Nychuk, but an active stick there from Pinard clears the puck out of the zone. 27 seconds left on the power play. Young off the bench has it. Scurries to the left circle, plays it to the line for Mateer. Long shot into traffic. Gets deflected in front of the net by Lynn and over the head and the cage. South Carolina tries to clear, but it stays in. Front Sylvester from the right side feeds it to the middle, and a chance by Cipollone is gobbled up by Gibson. Boy, what a chance there towards the end of the power play. Sylvester from the right circle quickly locates Cipollone. Top of the blue paint, tried to punch it in. And Cipollone just sneakily able to scoop by the defense, get wide open in front. Good chance. Alex Young will take this face off to the left of Gibson. His opposition is Kyler Kupka. And now Cipollone will go in as Young gets booted out. Nonetheless, Kupka wins it. Stingrays pelt it out. And that will do it for the Gladiator power play. So they go 0 for 1 on the Eco-Electric power play to start. Both teams begin the game with a successful penalty kill. On the near side, Cipollone rims it around to the left side. At the point, waiting is Young. Tried to lift it to Lind. Instead, Webb gets in front, fresh out of the box. He goes to the bench, and now Cipollone will hurl it right back in. Gibson plays it to his left. Shuffle it along the boards. Turns Wilkins into motion. Over the blue line, stops from the point, tried to feather it in front, looking for Bolson. Just about a foot ahead. Lynn takes the rebound. Wanted Cipollone in the neutral zone, but that pass was a tad behind. Now down the middle comes Rodzinski. Forced to the outside by Jarvis. Centering feed, snapped up by the glove of Stingrays. No danger there. He freezes. 2:48 into period 2. So some good things going on there on the power play for the Gladiators, but all in all, it equates to one shot. That coming on the chance from Cipollone. And so we're back to even strength. Still scoreless here in Charleston. Face off to the left of Felter. Jarvis tried to clear the zone. Good play there by Breen to swindle it away. Krenzen, point to point. Long shot off the shoulder of Felter. Rebound gathered by Les. Scurries behind his netminder. Closing in on him was Leipen. Got impeded by Jarvis. Fans want a penalty. Not going to get called. Chance from the left point goes wide of Felter. Krenzen keeps the play alive. Has Green below the goal line. Breen over to the left point. Another shot from there. Gets tattooed off the end wall. Breen with the rebound. Has a trailer. Krenzen fans on it. Picking up the rebound is Burns. Quickly scurries to the neutral zone. Pass was behind Nolan. Returned to Burns, gaining the zone. They're offside. 16:28 left on the clock. And Mickey Burns had the right idea there. Saw the chance. Off the fan shot from Krenzen, and then quickly turned on the Jets. Went to the neutral zone, and unfortunately just threw that pass behind Nolan. And the play slowed down to a halt from there. So, first line back out there. McNamee will take this face-off against Guzzo in the neutral zone. He will win it. He's been good in the face-off circle so far here tonight. McNamee to Nychuk. Will enter on the left side. Nychuk, sharp angle shot. Steamed away by Gibson. Walter behind the cage. Volleys it up to Nychuk. Point to point. Mateer keeps it in. Jams it around the horn to the left side. Nychuk can't keep the play alive. Lost an edge in front of his own bench. Thankfully, Mateer there able to get the puck back for the Gladiators. Walter tried to rumble in. His plans were thwarted by the Stingrays. DJ King slides it through the neutral zone. No icing. Keeping chase is Howardchuk. Wrapped up by Robilotti. Puck leaks to the circle. Robilotti will punch it forward and skate to center circle. Brush it to his right. Francis. Drop pass to Boudon. Spins away from the pressure. Finds Conroy at the line. Activates to the right side. Leaves it for Sylvester. From the high point, Sylvester shoots. Turned away by Gibson. Puck will go off a stick and out of play to the left of the Stingrays netminder. Clock stops. 4:45 in. Shot count reads 13-8 in favor of Atlanta. So Atlanta leading the shot count here in the second period. 2-1. So it seems like instead of this game blowing a bit more wide open, it's gotten even more tight-knit and defensive-minded. Labs win the face-off. Conroy from the left point punches it down to the corner. Stingrays able to whack it out to the neutral zone. Robilotti there to possess for Atlanta. Edwards on the forecheck forces him into quick thinking. That decision-making gets the puck out to the neutral zone. Conroy tries to rumble in on the left side. Jolts the puck down below the goal line where Gibson will play it out of play. And looks like as they did hit the glass, so no delay of game here. Face-off will be to his left. Earlier on in the first period, talked about how we're going to get to know South Carolina Stingrays very well coming up. Well, including this game, 3 of the next 5 on the Gladiators schedule are against South Carolina. Next 2 will be at home. Right side shot by Lind. Volleys into the gullet of Gibson. Will freeze. 5:13 into the middle frame. In fact, including tonight, the next 10 games for the Gladiators come against the same 3 opponents: Jacksonville, Greenville, and South Carolina. Glads win an offensive zone face-off cleanly, and a little too cleanly. Puck escapes the zone, so they start from the back end. Jarvis from neutral ice, trying to spring Cipollone into the attacking end. Pass a tab behind. Turned over to the Stingrays. Ends up going back to Jarvis on an errant pass. This time finds Lind on his way in. Lind from the slot tried to fire a shot on goal. Fanned on it, but has the loose puck. Finds Cipollone between the circles. Can't rip a shot away. Good defensive stick from the Stingrays. And now it's their turn. We'll get out to center. Feed it to the middle. They were looking for Kupka. Glanced off his stick, and here goes Burns right down the middle. Mickey Burns bounces to the left circle, looks for a trailer. Almost found Young in front, but had his stick lifted at the last moment. And there's a breakaway for the Stingrays. Low chance. Stopped by Septemfelter. Lipin had a good shot at it. But Septemfelter an even better save. Atlanta comes barreling in on the right side, but they're not going to beat out the icing. Nolan hustling, couldn't beat it there. Back down we go near Septemfelter. So on that last sequence, Atlanta with a good chance in front. Stick gets lifted. Stingrays see the home run chance for the pass. They hit it, and off to the races was Lipin. Put a low shot onto the left pad of Septemfelter. He keeps the game scoreless as we approach the midway point of the game. 13:44 left in period 2. Face off to Septemfelter's right. Won by the Glads, but Peter tried to sky it out. It stays in. Good play by the Stingrays. Pinard around the goal. Stingrays leading scorer. Cycles up high. Finds King at the left point. His shot is blocked. Lipin keeps it moving. Around it goes to the far side wall where Burns tried to spring it back to Mateer. Breen gets in front of it. Burns able to swindle it back. Out of all that, Nychuk pins it to the neutral zone for Nolan. Stingrays come right back in. Burns on the back check, able to steal it away. Possession changes again. King in the neutral zone, overskates it a bit. Walter, touch pass to Denemy, enters down the middle and shoots into the glove of Gibson. They'll stop time with 12:53 left in the second period, and afterwards, Walter and Denemy getting into it with Howardchuk after the whistle. There's a lot of tough customers on this Atlanta team. Those two are some of them. Walter and Denemy still jawing at Howardchuk. A lot of commotion going on here tonight. Still no score, though. We're back after this from our local sponsors.
You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger.
Back in action here at North Charleston Coliseum. Still no score with 12:53 left in the second period. Atlanta out shooting South Carolina 4-2 here in the middle frame, 15-9 overall. And it's been a goaltending duel here today between Gibson and Septemfelter. We'll see the face-off to the right of Gibson here, far circle of the Stingrays zone. McNamee will take this face-off against Guzzo. Face-off is won by the Glads. Robilotti into traffic off a leg into the near side. Howardchuk will bang it out to center and a little bit more. Conroy with possession, being hounded by Cooley, who's lost his stick. Conroy gets the better of him there. Puck will meander its way to Septemfelter. And Conroy will get a lay of the land. Doesn't take too long to think about it. Finds Denemy at his own blue line. On the left side, rubbed off the puck by Cooley and company. On the back check there again is Conroy. Guzzo to the left side. Rodzinski from the circle shoots into traffic. Pinballs wide. Now Howardchuk gets it on the far wall from low to high. Has Rodzinski. Tries to bang it out in front. Goes off a leg and wide of Septemfelter again. Puck will roll around to the near side boards. Walter tried to get it out, but it's held in by Howardchuk. Feeds Webb at the right point. Has a man in the right circle. Hofer shoots. Stick was lifted, and it broke. Walter there with a good play. Hofer with a new one on the right side, spinning like a turnstile. Evades pressure. Digs his way to the corner. Robolotti's there to wrap him up. Conroy skates free with the puck. The battle shifts to the near corner now. Puck leaks over to Denemy. Behind the play, Robolotti getting picked on by Edwards. Meanwhile, Denemy grabs it on the left wing and muscles his way out to center. A lot going on there. Locust from the right side. Gets to the corner. Another good defensive play by Conroy. What a night he's having. Working with Boudon. Those two swindle it away. Francis gets to the red line. Drops it off for Boudon. Throws it across. Sylvester can't quite reel it in. Gets it in the corner. Has Francis behind the cage. He'll shimmy to the near corner. Defended there by Klimek. Stingrays will toss it to the neutral zone. It is the period of the long change, although South Carolina able to get enough on it for a partial one. Puck bumbling in the neutral zone. Les sees the puck go into his own territory on a backspin. Tried to play it out. Ends up turning it over. Past to Wilkins in the slot behind him. Krenzen with a chance from the right point. And that is flagged down by the captain, Sylvester. Gladiators moving up ice on a rush. Throw it to the right corner looking for Sylvester. He gets knocked off the puck by Kupka. Puck leaps into the air, batted down by Wilkins. Feeds it to the middle. On the run is Kupka. He'll shoot and score. Stingrays break out quick. It is Kupka with the first goal of the game, and South Carolina leads 1-0. Gladiators get caught down the ice. Kupka able to split the D. He's able to get one-on-one with Semptimphelter. Picks his corner. Goes top right on the glove side. And the Stingrays have the first goal of the night with 10:06 left in the second. Kupka's got his 5th goal of the year for South Carolina. Stingrays have the opening goal. See if the Gladiators can get it back. Lynn to Cipollone. Looking for Young in the slot. Puck leaped over his stick. Now behind the cage, he has it. Arizona State product. Over on the far side. Turns and shoots into traffic. Kicked away by Gibson. Now Lind on a wraparound attempt. Gets denied. And the Stingrays scuttle back in. In the middle is Pinard. Tried to whack it in low on Semptimphelter. This time he won't be fooled. He freezes with 9:33 left in the period. And chaos ensues. Sparring match, everybody's there. Gladiator gets dragged down. That was Mateer. Linesmen doing their best to try and break it up, but everybody's got somebody. And now a couple of mitts are drawn. Cipollone's going at it. He's in a fight in the corner. He gets a couple good ones on Breen. Joey Cipollone hacking and whacking. It's a right hook from Cipollone. Dodges one from Breen. And they tumble down. And another one going on there in the corner. Looks like Lind has got Pinard. It's a 2-for-1 special here in the middle of the second period. It's a full-on yard sale. Joey Cipollone is fired up. Boy, was he going at it down there. Got a good couple of right hooks in there. See if we get a replay. So after the whistle, looked like Pinard was the one that started it all. Pinard barking at Mateer. Mateer goes in, gives him a couple shots, and then everybody's got somebody. And now Chad Nychuk barking a couple words at Wilkins. Nychuk's going to get sent to the bench. Look at the replay in-house. Looks like Pinard was going at it with Linden, and there we go, Cipollone with Breen. So Cipollone's in the box, presumably 5 for fighting. Same for Breen. Lind taking a seat as well. We'll see. It might take him a while to sort this out. Could be a laundry list of penalties here handed out. Get another good look at it here. And everybody had a dance partner. Everybody except for the two goalies. So Septemfelter's got the first row seat. He's got the best view in the house for all of us, happening to his right. Nychuk was going at it with Connor Moore. Cipollone and Breen both had the gloves off. All of this happening moments after the Stingrays took the lead. Tyler Kupka scores his 5th of the year. It was Wilkins that hit him on the stretch pass on the fly, and so that right now is the difference. Although, let's see if either team is headed to the power play here out of all this. So it looks like 2 Gladiators in the box, Cipollone and Lind. 1 Stingray, and that is Breen. But now skating near the box is Liben. He seems to be talking to the referee. Now he takes a seat. So 2 aside in the box. And it looks like Chaz Nochi's got a lot of work cut out for him. So now Glad's head coach Matt Ginn speaking with Nochi, presumably getting the final verdict here on what's actually transpired here. Again, 2 aside in the box, Lind and Cipollone in there for the Gladiators. Breen and Lipen with the Stingrays. Just waiting for these penalties to roll in, and usually in sequences like this, they don't do their best at relaying from the ice level, at least to my vantage point, with hand signals, what actually happened. And now, new development, Francis goes to the box. And the Stingrays are on the power play. So we wait for that to all roll in. All in all, though, South Carolina to the man advantage. For the second time tonight, Atlanta, the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill. So South Carolina with a chance to add to their lead. Cooley on the right side gets stuffed by Scardina. Wilkins dangled below the right circle, faked out Septemfelter, had him beat, trying to go around the net, and they quickly thought better of it and backhanded it away to the right circle. Now a long chance by Moore, fought off by the blocker of Septemfelter. At the line, Moore keeps it alive. Takes another chance into traffic. Septemfelter with another save. Scardina gets it to the line, held in again by Moore. Moore from the right point. Feeds it across. Wilkins in the middle, reels it in. On the left side, Kupka delays to Moore. To his right as Wilkins on his left. Wilkins slithers down low, plays it back up high. Kupka to the right side for Pinard. Now his pass intended for Moore, broken up nicely by Nolan. He's able to clear the zone. 45 seconds left on the penalty. Cross they go. Glances off the stick of Cooley. Bolson keeps it alive. Brings it to Moore at the line. Moore to the left circle. Has Kupka. Thinks about shooting but doesn't. Plays it to the right point for Bolson. Bolson back across to Kupka. Delays to Moore. Right point shot. Turned away by Septemfelter. Kupka with the rebound. Has a man down low in Wilkins. Behind the cage he surveys. They'll rotate it back up top. Moore drifting towards his right, into traffic, gets deflected wide. Nychuk was there to break it up. Moore from the right point with another chance. Delays to Bolson. Right circle shot. Stopped by Septemfelter. Penalty expires. Atlanta's 2 for 2 on the PK. Stingrays out in front at the end of it. Tried to find Wilkins. He got tied up. Right point blast by Hofer is stopped by Septemfelter, and he freezes with 7:20 left in the second. Boy, oh boy, the Gladiators come out of that unscathed. Series of good stops for Septemfelter. Keeps it a 1-0 Stingray lead. So out of all that, here's the verdict. Cipollone gets a double minor for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct for continuing an altercation. Kaylin Lynn gets 4, double minor for roughing. Breen gets 4 minutes, double minor for roughing, and a 10-minute misconduct for continuing the altercation. And then Lipin gets 2 for slashing, so you do all that math. That's why the Stingrays were on the power play, but the Gladiators have since killed that off. Breen from the right side fires a shot over the head of Septemfelter. Momentum carries the puck out to the neutral zone. Glans tap it in. Boudon right down the middle. He'll shoot, and an active stick by Krenzen makes it an even save, easy save for Gibson. So we are back to 5-on-5 action, although the Gladiators lose the services of Cipollone for 10 minutes since that play happened. 10:27 left in the period, so we'll likely see him either at the end of the second period or at the start of the third. Same thing for Lyndon Breen. For South Carolina, meanwhile, Kaylin Lind is out of the box sometime soon, as he did get the double minor that was canceled out by the one to Breen, who's still sitting in the box. So we should see Lind first whistle after the 6:27 mark left in the second period. It's a foot race on the right side. Walter gets it, drops it for Burns. Burns to the middle, looking for McNamee. Puck rolled off of his stick and stays in the attacking zone. Walter now from the end. Walter tries to peel it off and does. Finds Burns from low to high. He has Robolati. Sidestep, shoots into traffic. Puck is loose, and the Glads can't capitalize. Stingrays clear. They come in on the right side. Howardchuk backhand feed to the blue paint. In and out the other side. Robolati goes to work in the near corner. Springs it to Conroy. Knocks it to the line. Stingrays keep it in the slot there. It's a chance for South Carolina. Lurking was Guzzo, but couldn't get a shot away. Gladiators hoist the puck out to center, and a little bit more. Slowed down by Gibson. Left for Webb. 5:50 left in the second period. South Carolina leads by 1. Robert Kupka scored his 5th of the year earlier on in the period. Turnover in the neutral zone. Young finds it on the right side and shoots high and wide. Rebound gathered by Nolan. Tried to spring it to Nychuk, but it does escape the zone. Atlanta forced to fire back in. Stingrays, as quickly as it entered, get it back out. Lipin, drop pass for Wilkins. Getting in front of that is Denemy. On the right side, Nolan comes barreling in. Leaves it for Denemy. Tried to backhand it to Young in the slot. Broken up by the Stingrays. Matier sees a man go by him. Chance there from the left side. Stopped by Septemfelter. Lipin with the chance. He's been buzzing here in the second period. Nychuk to Denemy. Puck gained the offensive zone and not much more. 4:48 left in the period. Stingrays trying to set up shop in the attacking zone. Edwards to Hofer, right circle shot. Gets deflected wide. Good active stick by Les. Now down low, they center. One timer from Hofer, had his stick lifted by Nolan. Didn't get enough on it. It goes to the far side now. Sylvester picks up a pass from low to high. Scrambles out to the neutral zone. Pass to the left wing away from Nolan. He was off to the bench. Stingrays will knock it off a skate and down to the right of Septemfelter. Matier looks to collect the puck. Sidesteps pressure and gets set down by Hofer. It's here looking for a penalty, does not get it. Puck leaps into the Stingrays bench with 4:06 left in the period. So things have gotten chippy here in the middle frame. Things have gotten nasty. Stingrays have scored the lone goal from Kupka. Out of the box is Lind. 4:06 left in the period. Stingrays have outshot the Gladiators 7-5 in the second. South Carolina by 1. We are back in a moment after a word from our local sponsors.
Kind of feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Desserts are popping up on Crumble's menu.
More than just cookies. The lineup changing weekly.
Out of the break, Cipollone and Breen came to an agreement that with their 10-minute misconduct set to end in the final minute of the second period, they are both off to the locker room, and we'll see them at the start of the third. Face off to the left of Semptimphelter. Shot count reads 16-15 in favor of the Gladiators. The Stingrays really come to life here in the second period. Lone goal coming from Kupka, who's on the ice now. He will take the face-off to the left of Semptimphelter against Louis Boudon. And off that face-off, stick breaks for Kupka, gets a fresh one off the bench, keeps play alive. Has a man at the left point, Klimek a shot into the glove of Semptimphelter. Clock stops with 3:56 left in the second, and the shot count is all even. Same personnel staying out there on this sequence. Boudon will take the face-off for Atlanta. Boudon gets tied up off that draw. Puck in his skates. Clear down the zone. Foot race for it. Krenzen beats out Francis. Stingrays will launch it in. And Les will pop it out. From center circle, Boudon fires it down to Gibson. Comes out of his net to play it. Stingrays with a series of quick passes. Wire it into the Gladiator zone. Semptimphelter out to play it. Careening in on him was Bolson, but Semptimphelter able to shoulder him away. Back down we go to the Stingrays zone. Rodzinski enters the attacking zone. Tried to dangle and split the D, but Les gets the better of him. Now Boudon surges through center. Sylvester the trailer. Boudon delays. Lets to shoot. It gets blocked by Webb. Riley Webb with it now for South Carolina. Tried to stretch it through the neutral zone for Edwards. He gets boxed out by Conroy. And Atlanta looks to break out. 2:50 left in the second period. McNamee to the right side for Conroy. Conroy comes flying in. Backhand chance. Out in front goes wide from Walter. Lines along the far side wall. Pitches it deeper to McNamee. Puck leaps along the boards to the left point. Robillati keeps it alive. Serves it down low to Burns. Behind the net, McNamee looks to center. Walter had his stick lifted. And the Stingrays clear the zone. Burns cycles to the line, reels it in on the right side. From the right circle, shoots off the stick of Rodzinski and wide of Gibson. Leipen right down the middle, shoots. Stopped by Septemfelter, keeps the play alive. Chuck the rebound to the far corner. Burns will grab it, looking to spring Nychuk uphill. And in comes Nolan. Nolan on the left side, tried to feather it to the middle, just over the stick of Scardina. Nolan drop pass for Mateer, and his shot goes wide. The rebound grabbed by South Carolina. On the fly, one-on-one, Howard Chuck, shot down by Septemfelter. The puck is loose. Howard Chuck has it from low to high to the right circle. Cooley holds, feeds it to the middle. Out in front is Mateer to break up an excellent chance. Out in front was Guzzo, and Septemfelter can pounce on it. He freezes with 1:25 left in the second, and the Stingrays hit that play again. This time it's Howard Chuck. Same play that they scored on. Try to go to the backhand and beat Septemfelter 5-hole. TJ having none of it. Closes that door, makes the stop. And boy, the Gladiators have been caught on that play a few times in this game. They really need to find a way to limit the Stingrays' speed, and South Carolina doing a really good job of running that play through the neutral zone. Just having that one forward leak by to the blue line, hit him on that stretch pass, and they've been using their speed to their advantage. They scored on it once on the goal from Kupka. Almost had a second there. Back to live action, 1:15 left in the second period. Stingrays now out shooting the Gladiators 17-6 in the game, as Bolson gains the attacking zone. Goes around Jarvis, Bolson shoots, stopped by Septemfelter. The rebound goes over the goal. From the right point, Moore gathers it and shoots, gets off a skate and goes wide. Now it's the Gladiators, 3-on-2 up ice. Lynn from the left side goes across. Pass behind Nolan from skate to stick, couldn't grab it. Stingrays pelted out to center. 38 seconds left in the middle frame. Les pops it to the far corner. Lads get a line change in as Moore feeds it to the left wing, sent diagonally across to the far corner where Denemy is waiting. Hits Walter on the move through the neutral zone. The Swede off the left wing wall to the end wall. 15 seconds left in the period. Robilotti tried to spin it to the slot, went off a stick. Stingrays get it to the line, held in by Denemy. Puts it towards the goal. Looking for a deflection from Walter, didn't get it. Rebound goes to Conroy. He gets boxed off. Stingrays punch it forward, and that is the end of the second period. So the Stingrays lead it 1-0 off of Kyler Kupka's 5th goal of the year. That goal coming with 10:06 left in the second period. He gets hit on a stretch pass by Josh Wilkins. Leaks by the defense. Goes one-on-one with Septemfelter. And goes glove side. High down for the score. And that is the lone goal here in tonight's contest through 2 periods of play. Look, Atlanta looking to play catch-up here in the third. Getting outshot 19-16. Outshot in the middle frame 12-5. They're down by 1. We'll talk about what the Gladiators need to do to get on the board here in the third. Talk about what we saw in the second period. And we'll look ahead to the third period and a chat check on the YouTube side. Get the fans' thoughts on the game here tonight. All of that, the out-of-town scoreboard as well. Coming up on the other side of the break. All that and a whole lot more coming up in store. Once again, it's South Carolina 1, Atlanta 0 through 2 periods of play. We're back after this from our local sponsors.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Sometimes
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week. And $1 off. You can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Back here at North Charleston Coliseum, we do have a score, although it is South Carolina leading it 1-0. Through 40 minutes of play, I'm Chiarenza here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network, and Atlanta trying to find their way to another comeback here. And they did it in Savannah last Saturday, 2-1 comeback victory in overtime after surrendering the first goal. That goal came much earlier in the game, 2:30 into the first from Matt Koopman. Matt scored the next two to win the game. Today, a little bit of a different story. So, we've had a goal, we've had some nastiness, had a little bit of flavor here. Some great saves on either side from Septenfelter and Gibson. And it is a defensive-minded battle here today, once again, between the Stingrays and the Gladiators, and a goaltending duel as well. So, in one period of play, no scoring, and the Gladiators outshoot the Stingrays 11-7. And I thought it was a very good start for the Gladiators. Again, they were outshooting South Carolina, I believe it was about 8-1, maybe even 9-1 at one point, if my memory serves correct. And then South Carolina gets a series of really good saves from Gibson, a couple of lucky ones as well. They come away unscathed, and then slowly as the period went on, South Carolina built a little bit more momentum, and the shot count ends up meandering its way to 11-7 in favor of Atlanta. So Atlanta comes firing out of the gate, has nothing to show for it. South Carolina rallies back at the end of the first. Make things interesting. You head to the second period. Gladiators start on the power play. Missed opportunity here for Atlanta. And this power play, again, going through the motions. It's struggling right now, to put it very bluntly. This Gladiators power play has not been on its A game, and they do not score on the Eco-Electric power play on that chance. They come up empty-handed to this point. Atlanta 0-1 on the power play. You get a little bit further into the period, and get some nastiness. Oh, yeah. Absolutely you do. Things a little bit nastier in the period as things getting chippy. A little bit of skirmish here and there. Then you finally get our first goal. And unfortunately for the Gladiators, it's a goal against. Atlanta's been very good in these defensive-minded battles so far this season, but it is South Carolina getting the score, and it was just a slight miscue that's been plaguing the Gladiators in this game that ends up leading to this score. So I'll break it down for you. It's a good play for the Gladiators deep in the South Carolina zone. They do get a scoring chance before all this happens. It's a good stop by Gibson. And the Stingrays, recognizing the developing play on what you would see in a fast break equivalent in basketball and hockey, Stingrays quickly survey the scene, look to get a breakout here, and off the rush, it's Wilkins from about his own blue line, from his own zone, locating Kupka, kind of sneaking through the neutral zone, gaining some speed from the red line to the blue, hits him on the fly. He's able to split the defense, and the Stingrays are able to get a one-on-one with Septenfelter, and it really feels like, unless you're shooting into traffic on TJ and he can't see the puck, a one-on-one is your best chance to beat him with how good he's playing right now. And so that's exactly what the Stingrays do. It's a drawn play that they execute perfectly. Kupka splits the defense, has a step on the defender. He goes top shelf. Glove hand on Septenfelter for the score. It's his 5th of the year from Wilkins, and the Stingrays have the lead. Moments after that, about a minute afterwards, chaos ensues. Everybody comes together after a whistle. Joey Cipollone gets into a fight with Lyndon Breen. I thought Cipollone got a couple of good right hooks in there, although I'll give Breen some credit. Got a good wax in himself. It was a good-spirited fight. Had a lot going on in that play. Everybody had a dance partner, and it looked like out of all of that, Cipollone and Breen got 10-minute misconducts. We'll see them back at the start of the third period. And the Stingrays do get a power play out of that. So South Carolina, with momentum, goes to the power play. The Gladiators survive, and they're 2 for 2 on the Beaver Toyota Mazda penalty kill here in today's game. So the penalty kill, not a problem for the Gladiators. The PK has been really, really good this season, but again, their woes continue on the power play, and you got to think if they have a chance to tie this game in the third period on the power play, they have to find a way to find out their scoring woes. And this is a South Carolina team that is good defensively. They are good on the penalty kill, but for this Gladiators team, they have to find a way to solve their woes on the power play, because it doesn't seem like it matters who they're playing. There just isn't really enough on the execution side of things for the Gladiators on the man advantage to make that power play pack a punch and prove to be a driving factor as to why they could win a game. So look for South Carolina here and Atlanta to kind of jockey for it in the terms of special teams in the third period, because it feels like in a scrappy game like this, you got to figure that there's at least 1 or 2 more penalties to be called that could give the Gladiators a chance to tie the game on the man advantage. So we'll see. All that is just kind of speculation at this point, but with as physical as this game has been, it's hard to imagine a world where there isn't a penalty called here in the third period, and the Gladiators do not at least get 1 more chance on the power play. So chaos ensued on that play. South Carolina gets to the power play. They do not score. Another good job for the Gladiators PK unit. And then afterwards, South Carolina just creeps higher and higher into the lead on the shot count. So they end up outshooting the Gladiators 12-5 in the second period. And there were a couple more leaks, a couple more cracks in this Gladiators defense there in the second period. They hit that same play again that they did on the Kupka goal at least once more, maybe twice more before the end of the period. For the Gladiators, you just can't have that happen. It's a really good play drawn up by the Stingrays, but one of those fool me once, shame on me. But you can't let yourself get fooled again by that play, and the Gladiators do. So we'll see how it all works out in the third period for the Gladiators. But all in all, has to be a better effort offensively here in the third period for the Gladiators if they want to, first and foremost, score, and secondly, win today's game. I thought TJ Semptimphelter was fantastic again in the second period. Came up with some timely saves for the Gladiators there in the middle frame, but to this point, you stop 18 of 19, and Gibson putting on a show, stopping 16 of 16. It's going to be a low-scoring game. So for the Gladiators, I think what it's going to come down to is getting traffic out in front, long chances, maybe a deflection goal is what beats Gibson, but anything that he sees, he's likely going to stop. Same thing can be said for Semptimphelter, unless, of course, it's a one-on-one. Gladiators have to find a way to beat Gibson here today if they want a chance to win. We'll see what the third period has in store, but for Atlanta, I got to think that just try and throw everything that they can at Gibson here in the third. At this point, any shot is a good shot for Atlanta as they try and get on the board here in the third period to tie the game up at 1. So that is the lowdown through 2 periods of play. When we come back here on the second intermission report, we'll get a check in on our YouTube side. Comment your thoughts on tonight's game. I want to hear from you on our YouTube live comment section. Comment your thoughts. We'll get to it on the other side of the break. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard as well, see what's going on in the South Division, as I believe there are 2 more games going on around the division as we speak. All that coming up on the other side of the break on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. It's South Carolina 1, Atlanta nothing through 2 periods of play.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to thank everyone in attendance for your support of ECHL hockey. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to flowhockey.tv.
Feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be Wendy's.
Gotta be fresh. Sometimes life's collisions leave us feeling off balance. But at 100% Chiropractic, we know how to get you back on track. We don't just straighten you out, we empower you.
When you need inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger. For thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And low prices that add up to big savings, like over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
If you do not know the risks of your current seat location, advise
Second intermission report rolls on as we are approaching third period action between the Gladiators and the Stingrays. As South Carolina has the lead, 1-0. Limits to margins through 2 periods of play. I'm Chiarenza here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. Atlanta is in South Carolina here today for this game, and then we'll be back in action at 7:00 p.m. puck drop in Jacksonville tomorrow to end the 4-game road trip before the Gladiators start a 5-game homestand, and that will begin on November 22nd. So, a lot of good stuff in store for the Gladiators. Coming up on the docket, make sure you check out the full promo schedule at atlantagladiators.com. But I know that November 22nd game is going to be very special, as it is going to be Glads Fight Cancer Night. So for those of you that were not familiar or have not heard, the Gladiators will be wearing specialty jerseys for that night. It features the names of those who are currently battling or have lost the fight against cancer, and was debuted and revealed on ATL Live on our good friends show over on ANF. So if you did not check that out, make sure you go head on over to our social media channels and check that out. Jersey looks awesome. It's going to be a very special night at Gas South Arena, so make sure you get your tickets at atlantagladiators.com if you have not already. And that will open a 5-game homestand for the Gladiators at the end of a 4-game road trip ending tomorrow night in Jacksonville. So, before we get to a YouTube chat check here as we end the second intermission report, let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here in the South Division. So, start of the third period at Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville. They're still tied there. Swamp Rabbits and Everblades knotted up at 1 apiece. Over at the Scope in Norfolk, it is the Ghost Pirates leading the Admirals 4-1 at the start of the third. And of course, the only other game in the South Division going on is our game, where the Stingrays have a 1-0 lead to start the third. Let's take a look at our YouTube live chat and see what's going on. Rebecca B's excited to see the Glads back at home. I am as well. I do love a road trip, but nothing quite like being at Gas South Arena. Linda says, you look good tonight. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Christina F. Side note: the area you're reporting in is very interesting. Yep, yes it is. Sitting with the fans here today, getting a fans' perspective here today. A lot of fun. So, a lot of penalties there at the end of the second period. I guess midway through the second period. Cipollone and Breen will start the period in the penalty box, and then first whistle after the first minute, they should be back. Maybe Palmer asks, Sky, what do you do on the bus rides? Well, sometimes I finish up my game notes. Sometimes I listen to music. Other times I sleep. Just a few ways to pass the time. Really, anything you can do to pass the time. I'll be honest. Yeah, I'll get a nap in every now and then. But mostly try and get all my work done if I still have any that I didn't get done before we leave for one of our trips. April D says, if you look in the right direction, we can almost see the ice reflected in your glasses. Yeah, but maybe here. Yeah, it's all in good fun. If you want to watch the action, go to Flow Sports, go to flowhockey.com, and check that out over there. Create an account, and you can watch all the action live. Just get your subscription ready over on the YouTube side of things. Beach Fuzz 27 asks, what music do you like? I'm a classic rock guy. I like some Led Zeppelin. I'm listening to a lot of Paul McCartney and Wings. I like some AC/DC, Lynyrd Skynyrd, 38 Special, things of that nature. Third period underway. Puck is dropped. Stingrays with the lead. So Atlanta trying to find their way back in this game. They're only down by one, and they've been very, very calm in comebacks this season. So they can get a job done on the road. Stingrays have possession. King on the left side. Gets shoved off the puck at the red line. Here comes Walter from his knees. Has Denemy on the right side, but the pass just a tad behind. Forced to play it to the line. Boudon gets tossed off the puck. And now the Stingrays from center red will wire it in and get a line change in. Walter to the left side, has Nychuk on the move over the red line, pops it below the goal line. And there is Rodzinski for South Carolina. From the corner, Francis tried to find Boudon, but the pass behind again. It feels for the Gladiators here in this game, they're almost there, but just a titch off when it comes to these sequences. As the puck goes to the near corner of the Gladiator zone, Mateer is there, Boudon digs it free, finds the captain, Cody Sylvester. He pitches it to the neutral zone, takes a couple hops in front of Francis, and here come the Stingrays. Kupka delays, looking for Wilkins. Miscommunication there with Bolson. Throws it across through the blue paint for Kupka, who fires wide. Those two bumped into each other, and then they set up for a good scoring chance. Go figure. You always got to stay sharp in this league. It is Krenzen from the back end, stretching it up to the left side. Has Locus. Shut down nicely by Robilotti. Wraps him up. Glad to have the puck. Robilotti been very underrated, in my opinion, for the Gladiators this season. Solid defensive defenseman for Atlanta. Makes another good play there. Stingrays pop it out to center. Robilotti from the red line. Wires it on goal. Blockered away by Gibson. And flung back out by the Stingrays, but we do have a penalty here. Now, make that just a high stick. My apologies. No penalty, just play with a high stick. It looked like, if the referee was skating, it could have been a penalty call, but no, just a high stick. So, 2:15 gone by in the third period, and, oh, wait a minute, maybe they did get Locus. He goes to the box, takes a seat, and what have we here? Cody Sylvester lurking near the scorer's table, trying to get a word in. Stingrays out to 4. And now Wilkins over the bench. That's 5. It looks like that first power play unit out there for the Gladiators. So I do believe that they are going to the power play here. The PA announcer said play with a high stick, but maybe he was wrong. Let's see. It is a high-sticking minor to Dean Locus, and the Glads are going to the power play. So there it is. We talked about it in the second intermission report. Glads have a chance to tie the game on the power play, which has been their sore spot so far this season. Off to a great start, 8-1, but the one glaring issue is that power play. 0 for 3 in the last game against Savannah. So far, they're 0 for 1 today, but this is their chance to tie the game. So Locust in the box, 2 for high sticking. Glads to the Eco-Electric power play. Nychuk from the right point. Steers it down low to Sylvester. Sylvester from the corner waiting as McNamee got a new stick as his broke on the last sequence. Now Sylvester chucks it across. Boudon a shot into traffic. Thrown away by Gibson and cleared by the Stingrays. Boudon looking up ice. Make that Nychuk, excuse me. Gains the red line. Now Stingray territory. It's shoved off the puck and South Carolina will clear again. And these zone entries have been a bit of an issue for the Gladiators on the power play so far this season. Boudon has Francis on the move. Gains the attacking line. Back to Boudon. Tried to split the D, but got wedged off the puck by Webb at the last moment. Nychuk keeps it alive. Long shot. Fought off by Gibson. The rebound to Sylvester. Back to Nychuk. He'll shoot. It goes wide. Back to Sylvester from the right side half wall. Takes a shot, kick, save Gibson. Nobody there for the rebound, and Nychuk can't keep the play in the zone. 45 seconds left on the Gladiator power play. In comes Francis, right down the middle. Francis shoots, stopped by Gibson. Rebound to Sylvester, doesn't shoot. Hangs onto it from the right circle, feeds it down low. Chance in front, and Gibson's got that as well. Spilling on his backside was McNamee, trying to stuff that puck in. With 30 seconds left on the power play, but Gibson would not be beat. Sylvester quarterbacking things from that right circle. Looking for McNamee in front, and again, just trying to jam that puck in any which way he can, but Gibson's there, he makes the stop, and on comes the second unit. 30 seconds left on the power play for Atlanta. Young, Lind, Walter, Mateer, and Denemy. The 5 for Atlanta. Young will take this face off against Kupka and win it. Mateer walks the line. On the right point has Walter, although Krenzen gets in front, forces a turnover, and the Stingrays will clear. 4 minutes gone by in the period. 14 seconds left on the power play. Mateer from his own end. Finds Walter at the blue line. Lifts it up to Denemy. Denemy brushes it to the left side for Young. Back across. Lynn down low looking for Denemy. And the last pass too much. Denemy couldn't reel it in. Power play comes to an end. And the Glads are 0 for 2 on the man advantage. So we're back to even strength. Out of the box is Locust. Atlanta offside on their next zone entry. With 15:31 left in the third. And there comes Cipollone and Breen. Their 10-minute misconduct is done, so they'll both head to their respective benches, and their services are now available. Face-off won by the Gladiators. Les from the right side rolls it around to the left. Over the stick of Burns and Scardina as well. The Stingrays come up ice 2-on-1. Howard chuck to the middle. Backhand chance for Kuzo goes wide. Septemfelter might have gotten a piece of that. Either way, it remains a 1-0 Stingray lead. Les has Burns flying through center ice. Bounces to the left side, feeds it to the middle. Nolan out in front, looking for a trailing Scardina. And the pass hops over his stick. And the Stingrays skate it out. It just feels like that last touch, that last pass for the Gladiators, that is what has been biting them all day long. Just can't quite execute in the final play. Nolan backhands it to the slot. Nobody there except for Krenzen. Feathers it to the left side for Breen. Comes in and slows to a halt. Pitches it down below the goal line. Robilotti there for Atlanta. As Conroy streaking down the left wing. Quick one-touch pass to Sylvester. He fires it in. Stingrays try and exit on the far end and do. Puck leaks out to Sylvester. Tried to go right back in, but overskated it. 13th year pro hockey for Sylvester. Goes across to Francis. Enters on the right side. Spinning at the point. Tries to keep the play alive and does. 3 Stingrays are there. Now Klimek will skate it out. Klimek to the right side. Chance for Bernard. Tried to backhand it across to Wilkins. Had too much heat on it. Boudon scrambles up ice, gains the attacking zone, and shuffles it to the far corner. There is Sylvester working hard. Puck clanks off a skate, and the Stingrays will sauce it through the neutral zone. No icing, but Tier gets to it. Locates Nychuk on the near side. Springs it to the neutral zone looking for Walter. Boomerangs back to Nychuk. The former wing rolls it into the attacking zone. Walter there trying to pin the puck in that zone. Working against Kupka, the game's lone goal scorer. Out of the pile. Shot by Mateer. Goes in on goal to Gibson. Just shovels it to his right, and the Stingrays knocking out to center. Shot count reached 23-19 in favor of the Gladiators, who have outshot the Stingrays 5-0 so far here in the third. The shot goes in on Gibson. He makes another stop, his 24th of the night. 12:54 left in the third. Stingrays lead 1-0. We are back to the North Charleston Coliseum after a word from our local sponsors.
This Thanksgiving, you can count on Kroger. You get up high quality and down low prices. Up high quality with our exclusive brands and down low prices on all your Thanksgiving needs. Because at Kroger, quality and low prices always come together. Kroger.
Stingrays lead 1-0. Gladiators have been the better team here in the third period, outshooting South Carolina 5-0. Still looking for their first goal of the night. Off the face-off, Lynn fans on a one-timer. Shot from the point, inside is Young, and oh, what a stop by Gibson. The rebound available. Lynn crashing the crease, but Gibson's got it. And that has been the problem for the Gladiators here tonight. Number 34 in red. That is the problem. No matter what they throw at him, he has somehow found a way to keep it out. Atlanta's doing everything right. Young was out and tight. Glove save for Gibson. The rebound was loose, and Lynn knocking at it. Goes off the right pad of Gibson. Cipollone there as well, but they just can't beat him. Another good stop for Gibson. And well, looks like after the play, there was a little bit of a hold there on a Gladiator in the blue paint. They're going to move this face-off out to the neutral zone. Young to take the face-off against Guzzo. He does win it, though. Back to Les Jarvis on the left side. Atlanta's offside on the zone entry. Clock grinds to a halt again with 12:39 left in the third. those of you wondering, Mitch Gibson, like TJ Septemfelter, is on an AHL contract. The Stingrays' AHL affiliate are the Hershey Bears. Their NHL affiliate are the Washington Capitals. Gibson is a former draft pick of Washington back in 2018. Stingrays with the puck emerge from behind Gibson. Floated to the neutral zone. Glove down by Jarvis. Hit in the back. Looking for a call and does get it. Delayed penalty on South Carolina. So Septemfelter to the bench. Extra attacker on. It is Young over the red line. Moves it into open space. Making sure the Stingrays can't touch up. Conroy now. Leaves it for Francis. Speeding through the neutral zone. Gains the attacking line. Stops to the middle looking for Lind. Glanced off his stick, but he keeps possession. Shoulders away a Stingray. Tried to jolt it to the line for Conroy, but it hopped off of his stick. And goes wide to the empty cage. You always got to be careful on plays like that. Sylvester on the left side. Gains the zone and loses possession. Stingrays touch up. And with 11:38 left in the third, Atlanta going back to the Eco-Electric power play for the third time tonight, and it feels like they really need to make this one count. Guzzo going to the box for the Stingrays. Face off to the right of Gibson. I believe kneeing was the call on Guzzo. Stingrays win the face-off. Kupka shuffles it through the neutral zone and all the way down to Septemfelter for an opening. South Carolina clear. We'll see how the Gladiators fare here on the zone entry. That has been one of their woes on this power play. Francis use it for Sylvester. They'll rip it around to the left side, and Atlanta is in. McNamee from behind Gibson finds Sylvester on the right side. Puck leapt over his stick, and now Kupka moves up by shorthanded. A chance for Lipin between the circles, and Nychuk's there in the back check to shut down the shorthanded chance for the Stingrays. Nychuk angles it in to the right side. Waiting at the half wall is Boudon. Locates Sylvester, top of the right circle, digs his way deeper. The captain off the wall has Nychuk at the right point. Return to Sylvester. Trains it back to Nychuk, floats it across, and it gets broken up. Diving play by Boudon. It's not enough. 2-on-1 for the Stingrays. Kupka in the middle. Backhand chance. It's stopped by Septemfelter. Remember that one. 50 seconds left on the power play for Atlanta. Walter over the red line. Smothered at the blue line, but does toss it in. Puck goes to the near corner. Hofer gets checked off of it by Lind. Puck available. Lind swiping at it. Stingrays able to get a touch. Up to Pinard, who floats it down to Septemfelter. Walter feeds it ahead for Young. Drop back to Walter. Navigated to the right side. Make that Mateer to Walter. On the right side, Lind from the corner gets checked off the puck, and it spits out of the zone, and that'll do it for the Gladiator power play. Out of the box is Guzzo. Atlanta 0 for 3 on the Eco-Electric power play here today. Conroy over the red line, comes barreling in, gets checked by Krenzen. Puck to the circle. Nolan in front. Tried to shoot, but gets caught up in his own man and Burns. He'll take a shot. That gets blocked by Cooley, and the Stingrays have possession. Oh, a sneaky chance for Nolan out of the pile. Ends up running into his own man and Burns. Here is Guzzo. Flung through the neutral zone, away from Cooley, ends up going down as an icing with 8:58 to go in the third. Some very passionate fans here in South Carolina, and a cowbell as well. Fans getting rowdy here at North Charleston Coliseum. Stingrays up by 1. 8:58 left in the third. It'll be a center circle face-off between McNamee and Kupka. Atlanta wins it. McNamee's been really good in the face-off circle here tonight. They try and pop it in the offensive zone. Stingrays get to it off the wall and held in by Robolotti. Good pinch. Extra work, though, from Wilkins. Able to free it of the zone, and that will be another icing on South Carolina with 8:39 to go. Atlanta out shooting South Carolina here in the third period, 10-1. It's not for lack of trying. It really has just been that kind of night for Mitch Gibson. He's been that good for South Carolina. Gladiators with chances here in the third, but so far, no cigar. Face-off on the near circle. McNamee's won another. Jarvis at the line, holds, plays it into traffic, deflected to McNamee, but couldn't get a shot away. Jarvis keeps it in at the left point, throws it cross ice, looking for Denemy. Puck loose in front of Gibson. Stingrays clean up house again. For the third time, Jarvis keeps the puck in the offensive zone. Grinding in is Walter. To the corner he goes. Being checked by Krenzen. Denemy there to help out. Wanted McNamee. He gets shrugged off the puck. That's creeping down on the right side. Rips it to the right point for McNamee. Fires into traffic. Deflected wide by Denemy. Rebound goes to Jarvis. Spinning around to right side for Boudon, fresh off the bench. Denemy from the end wall grabs the puck. Working against Krenzen. Leaves it for Walter. Boudon in the middle, can't grab it. And the Stingrays clear out to center. Don't get a change in. As Les pitches it to his left for Francis. Slithers his way into the attacking zone. From the end wall, Boudon can't peel it away, and the Stingrays move up ice. They do have some speed. Pinard knocks it down low. Septemfelter out to play it. He threads it to the near side. Quick series of passes, and Francis is on the move. Splits two Stingrays. Puck leaps into the air. It's about the fifth row on the near side. Puck stops with 7:13 to go in regulation. We haven't really seen a lot of that rough stuff after the whistle here in the third, and for the Gladiators, they've had their chances. 2 chances on the power play, a couple of good ones on Gibson, but still looking for their first score of the night. Matier keeps the play alive, waffles it into the glove of Gibson. Clock stops again with 7:02 to go. Cody Sylvester out there with Boudon and Francis. 2 D-men are Matier and Nychuk. See another face-off here near Gibson, this time to his left on the far circle. And off that face-off, got another one, do-over. Linesman dropping that puck is Shane Gustafson, number 87. Boudon will duel against Guzzo. Guzzo's won it for the Stingrays, and they'll rainbow it over the neutral zone. Matier batting at it, can't get away from Cooley. He gets a shot on goal, and Septemfelter is there to make the save. Matier just trying to bat that puck out of the air, and I think he might have lost it in the rafters. The rafters are white, the puck is black, but I think he lost a sight of that puck as it was just tumbling into the open air. Tried to bat at it, got a little bit of it, but not as much as he thought he would, and Cooley was there to pick up that loose puck after it bounced. Put a shot on Septemfelter, a low one, and they've tried to go 5-0 on Septemfelter a lot here today. Low line drives, but he's been working those pads, keeping that puck out. Remember, the lone goal scored by Kupka did come on his glove side, and it was a high riser. on a one-on-one. King shot from the left point, turned away by Sempton-Felter. Mateer with it, bouncing, settles it down. Slides it over to the far side for Nychuk. Reverses back to Mateer. Guzzo working hard against him. Sylvester now sees the puck go up and back to the corner. Mateer back to work. Locates Nychuk again. He'll deal it to his right. Feather to the middle. Sylvester tried to grab it out of midair. He's a hockey player, not a baseball player. Trying to glove it down, but play unsuccessful. He heads to the bench. And Krenzen has it from the deep end. 6 minutes left in the third. Lind digs it out, feeds it to his left. Conroy in, puts it on goal. The rebound available. Snapshot by Lind. Blocked in front of Gibson. Conroy now off the wall has Cipollone. Left point into traffic, goes off a skate and wide. Out at center. Lucas has it. Lucas looking for a trailer. Doesn't have one, so just spurns it deeper. Young on it. From the near side. Escapes out to the neutral zone. 3-on-3 up ice. Young from the blue line tries to wire a shot in. Cipollone does. It goes wide. Rebound snatched up by Lim behind the cage. Spinning like a turnstile. Feeds it to Les from the right point. Les working with the puck well. On the left side now. Pops it down low to Lind. Lind in the backhand tries to wrap it in. And Gibson is there. Slamming the door shut. And now a Gladiators in a headlock. Webb has got Lind in a headlock in front of Gibson. Finally now he relinquishes his grip. And it looks like we are going to stay 5-on-5. Stingrays have the lead by 1. Slim margin. 4:55 left in the third. Take one more break. We'll find out how this one ends when we come back on the Gladiators Broadcast Network here in South Carolina.
Kinda feels like everyone's trying to copy the $5 biggie bag. So how can you spot a knockoff? It won't taste like Wendy's. This job is easy. When the deal is as fresh as the meal, gotta be.
Gwinnett Fire and Emergency Services is ready to answer the call, but we'd rather prevent them. Our free home safety survey includes checking smoke alarms, identifying common hazards, and reviewing your family's home escape plan. Schedule yours today.
Now it's crunch time for the Gladiators. 4:55 left in the third. We're into the final 5 minutes. Stingrays lead at 1-0 off a second period goal with 10:06 left in the period. From Kyler Kupka, his 5th of the year, and that is the difference. Atlanta's thrown the kitchen sink and then some. Matt Gibson here in the third, out shooting the Stingrays 13-3, but still nothing to show for it. Although there is time to change that. Stingrays bang it down, icing on South Carolina. 4:49 to go.
Stingrays fans, please come again.
Gladiators out shooting the Stingrays 29-22 at this point. Face-off to the right of Gibson. McNamee in that first line out there. Stingrays win the face-off. Their face-off loss for McNamee, although he does scramble to try and get it back in a board battle on the near side half wall. And they're still digging at it. Gladiators have it. Les at the line. Leaves it for Jarvis, drifting towards his right, feeds it to his left. Denemy tries to put it in front, but the Stingrays close in on the puck and spring it down. Another icing on South Carolina with 4:22 left. For the Gladiators, that's fine. You take those chances. Let the Stingrays wear out. They get fresh bodies on. On comes the second line. Sylvester with Boudon and Francis. And, what have we here? They're going to move this face-off to the neutral zone. So the Stingrays do get to change it. So they change the ruling of the icing. Stingrays able to get a line change in. And it's a face-off at center circle. Bad beat for the Glads. Mateer from the red line wires it in. At the left point, Nitro keeps it alive. Pelts it to the left circle. Keeps it alive again on a clearing attempt. This time it leaks out. Nitro comes right back in. Digs his way down the right side. Nitro feeds it to the middle. A one-time chance and a second is stopped by Gibson. That's the tale of the night. Gibson. You know, I think if they could give all 3 stars to Mitch Gibson here today, they probably would. Although I think he's making a good argument as to why he could be the first. Still a lot of time left, though. 4:01 left in the third. Get a good slow-mo replay in here. Francis digging at it. Sylvester as well. That line stays on there. Face up on the far circle. Won by the Stingrays. They lift it out to the neutral zone. Boudon fresh on it. Finds Francis on the right wing. Rushes it to his left for Boudon. Hook it into the far corner where it plops down to Boudon. Wanted Mateer at the line. Ends up fumbling it, so has to come back out. Fires it out of play with 3:36 to go. I guess one more second drained off, so 3:35 on the clock. In the game that is led by the Stingrays, 1-0. All it takes is 1 to go in for the Gladiators. This game is much, much different. Stingrays win the neutral zone face-off. Sling it down to Sempton-Felter. Les repels it to the left side for Conroy. Try to hack it off the wall to Burns, and does. He'll whip it in. From the right point, Les pinching, trying to keep it in. Stingrays have none of it. Trying to hit Breen on that stretch pass we've seen a few times here today. Conroy able to get back there to make the defensive stand. Les fires up ahead, nobody home, and errant pass ends up going down as an icing on Atlanta with 3 minutes left on the clock. That's fans. You can watch every game live and on demand. As long as you've got an internet connection on your TV, your tablets, your phone, your PC. All on Flow Hockey. The ECHL hits harder on Flow Hockey. Go to flowhockey.com today. Get your subscription started. Watch every single game, all 72. Live and on demand. Face off to the left of Sempton-Felter. We'll keep an eye on him. See how aggressive Atlanta wants to be here. Still down by 1 in the waning moments of the game. Brendan Les scoots up ahead to Burns. Now Nolan from the right side chucks it in and gives chase. Lions get a line change in behind the scenes as the Stingrays carry out the center. Howardchuk drags it in on the left side. Can't get around Mateer, so pokes it to the corner for Guzzo. Off the wall, Haas King. Shot goes wide. Rebound to Howardchuk. Wants to center. Ends up getting closed in by Mateer. Those two spin around. And now Cipollone with it. Feeds it into open space for Nychuk. On the right wing. Brushes it to the middle. Nolan flags it down. Cycles up high and shoots. Goes into a cluster. Loose puck goes to the Stingrays. They lift it out to center. 2:03 left. Sempton-Felter looking at the bench. Glads come in. Lynn to the middle. Backhands and out in front. Whacked out to the line by the Stingrays. Held in by Les. Drives to the left corner. Denemy wheels it behind the cage to Lynn. Then being pestered by King, floats it from low to high. Conroy to the left side, looking for Denemy, and the Stingrays muscle it out to center. 1:34 left, Atlanta with possession. Les with it, Sempton-Felter looking at the bench. He'll stay put. Boudon gains the red line. Comes on in, Louis Boudon, toe drag shot wide of Gibson. Francis keeps it in the zone for a moment. Whistle blows with 1:16 left. And Sempton-Felter looking, slowly skating. And I believe you have a timeout called, and Matkin has used his timeout. The difference is one. Scored back 9:54 into the second period. Kyler Kupka's 5th of the year. Not one-on-one with Sempton-Felter thanks to a stretch pass from Wilkins. Beat Sempton-Felter high glove for the score. That is the lone goal tonight. Gibson's working on a shutout. Gladiators trying to break that. 31 shots on goal for Atlanta. And Gibson stopped all of them. So Matt Ginn calls his timeout with 1:16 left in regulation. See who this faceoff is. I believe it's going to be on the far circle of the Stingrays zone. So Sempton-Felter should head to the bench. And he does. So 6-on-5 for Atlanta. The net empty. McNamee, Young, Francis, Walter, Nychuk, and Boudon. The 6 for Atlanta. Face off on the far circle. One by the Gladiators. Francis from behind the cage. Plays it from low to high. Boudon to Nychuk. Back to Boudon, left side, below the circle. Return pass to Boudon. Has Young. Down low, back up the line. Boudon to Nychuk, keeps the play alive. Finds Walter on the right side, feeds it down low. Off the stick of McNamee. Puck continues to rotate. McNamee from the end, tries to tap it to Walter. Broken up, held in at the line on the clearing attempt by Nychuk. Fired wide, and they converge in on it. Young with it, 42 seconds left. Young tries to scramble to keep it in, but the puck is forced out of the zone by Cooley. 32 seconds to go. Glad's delayed offside, they got to tag up. Nychuk brushes it in, Boudon slithers to the corner. From low to high, Nychuk a shot, fought off by the left pad of Gibson. Stingrays float it to the neutral zone. It rainbows down and plops onto the stick of Nychuk. 13 to go. Young barreling down the middle. Tries to shoot. It goes wide. Rebound to Boudon. Out in front. They can't stop it in. McNamee on the doorstep. It gets set out. And the Stingrays will win the game. It's a 33-save shutout for Mitch Gibson, and the Stingrays win it 1-0. South Carolina gets the victory on home ice. Atlanta falls for the first time on the road. They fall to 8-2. These two teams are now tied for the South Division lead with 16 points each and 8 wins each. South Carolina's played more games. They get the better of the Gladiators here today. 1-0 your final score. We are back on the Gladiators post-game show. After this, once again, South Carolina 1, Atlanta 0 final from North Charleston Coliseum. We're back in 30 seconds for the post-game show. final score here from North Charleston Coliseum. South Carolina Stingrays 1, Atlanta Gladiators nothing. Atlanta shut out for the first time this season. They also suffered their first road loss here today. Very slim game. Could have been anybody's, but Mitch Gibson steals the show, hits a 33-save shutout for number 34 in red. Into the 3 stars of the game here. They're about to be listed to us out at the Coliseum.
All right, Stingrays fans, here comes the Gildan 3 stars of the game. Stingrays with the victory tonight, 1-0. And the only assist in the contest is 100th in the ECHL, number 15.
Josh Wilkins with his 100th ECHL assist to the 3rd star of the game. He assisted on the lone goal in today's contest that was scored by Kyler Kupka. So it seems like as well as TJ Semptenfelter played today, he is not one of the 3 stars of the game.
The
Second star.
5th goal of the season, and this one the only one tonight. Number 18, Kyler.
Is Kyler Kupka. So he's the 1st star of the day.
And fans, no doubt about tonight's first star. He saved all 33 shots, recording his first shot.
And of course, the 1st star of the game is Mitch Gibson. 33 save shutouts. That's what it took to beat the Gladiators here today. And here's how it all shook down. So, scoreless first period. Gladiators had a chance on the power play to start the second period. And Atlanta came out guns blazing. They put together a really good start to this game offensively and defensively. Outshot the Stingrays 11-7 in the first period of play. Stingrays got some momentum towards the end of the second period, or excuse me, the end of the first period. They rolled to the second period. Atlanta starts period 2 on the power play. They can't make anything of it. And then about midway through the period, that lone goal from Kyler Kupka, it goes into the back of the net on a stretch play. So this flies in, takes in the pass on the blue line, goes 1-on-1 with Semptenfelter, splits the D and scores. That is your lone goal of the contest, assisted by Josh Wilkins, his 100th ECHL assist. That is the game winner because the Gladiators did not score from there on out. Neither did the Stingrays. TJ Semptenfelter ends up stopping 21-22. Another great night for number 35, although he does suffer his first loss in the ECHL at the hands of the Stingrays. And you think about the third period here today, coming off the second. So the Gladiators are outshot 12-5 in the second period, and the Stingrays really were the better team in the second period. Felt like the Gladiators had a couple of miscues there. South Carolina hit that stretch pass play where they hit that home run feed on the speeding man, moving through the neutral zone a couple times, and it bit the Gladiators on that goal that was scored by Kupka. Ends up being the difference maker here tonight, and for the Gladiators, they are shut out for the first time this year at the hands of Mitch Gibson, but not without a good fight in the third period. Atlanta outshoots South Carolina 17-3 in the third period. So let me do a quick check on the notes here and see if Atlanta has matched the season high for most shots in a period. They fall one short. They had 18 in the second period of the second game of the year in the 4-1 win against Utah at home. So they fall one shy with that effort in the third period, and the effort really was there for the Gladiators. You know, they didn't go down without a fight, and that was really one of the things that Matt Ginn preached throughout the course of the offseason was that, you know, win or lose, we want to be a tough team to play against, and we want to be a team that fights to the final horn, and they did. And this is a Gladiators team that laid it all out today, threw everything they could at Mitch Gibson, and they just couldn't get one to go. And that happens sometimes. Sometimes you don't get any puck luck. Sometimes you run into a hot goalie. Glad's got goalied here today. Again, really good effort. He put 33 shots on the board. Most cases, that's enough to at least get one by, but not today. Good game for Mitch Gibson. We'll likely see him again down the road when the Gladiators return home in the middle of that 5-game homestand on the 23rd and 26th when these two teams get back together. But I really feel like for the Gladiators, they did have their chances there in the third period of that game, particularly 2 chances on the power play. And I said at the end of the second intermission, it felt like there had to be at least one or two chances for the Gladiators on the man advantage in the third, and they did. But again, the power play has fallen short for this Gladiators team, and there were a few chances there for them to tie the game on the man advantage, and they just couldn't get it done. And this is something that's been a theme for them throughout the course of the season, and if we think back to the Savannah game where that was a 1-1 game, tie game, Atlanta did have a chance to win that game in regulation on the power play, but fell short there. So the chances have been there on the power play for Atlanta, but they haven't been able to figure out that puzzle. Now, the good news for them is they're 10 games in. They're 8-2. They're still tied for the division lead with 16 points now in South Carolina. There's plenty of time for them to figure out this power play, but at what point does this start costing you games and chances to win? It's been that case the last couple of games, and we'll see if the Gladiators can solve that tomorrow night in Jacksonville. So, all in all, good effort for the Gladiators here today. Thought it was a strong first period. Bit of a weak second period for the Gladiators. I'll give that one to the Stingrays. They do score. They do outshoot the Gladiators in the middle frame. And it was a good effort in the third, but it's not enough. So we'll see what kind of fury and passion Atlanta brings to the game tomorrow in Jacksonville. And hopefully for Atlanta, the offense hasn't dried up, because now you think back over the last two games, the Gladiators, coming off that 5-2 win in Jacksonville last Friday, they've scored 2 goals since in the 2-1 win in Savannah. So 2 goals in your last 2 games. Not optimal for the Gladiators, although they are doing some good things offensively, getting some good puck movement, getting some shots on goal. Again, 33 here today. I don't think there's a reason to hit the panic button here for the Gladiators. I thought they played a pretty good game. Just ran into a really good goalie in Mitch Gibson. So we'll see if the Atlanta Gladiators can get their revenge in about a week's time on the 23rd and 26th of this month. So now let's take a look at what's to come tomorrow night in Jacksonville. The Icemen are off today, so they have not played here today. So we'll get a well-rested Jacksonville team for the final game of the road trip. And Atlanta's been really good on the road so far this season. Good effort here today. Again, they fall short in the 1-0 loss. Very slim game. A bounce really could have changed the outcome of it, but for this Gladiators team, they fought hard on the road. They're now 4-1 on the road. So 4-1 at home, 4-1 on the road. And we'll see how they fight back after a loss here today in North Charleston. And it's a quick turnaround for them in Jacksonville. And sometimes that's the best thing you need after a loss, is you just get right back on the horse, get right back to it. And we'll see what they bring to VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena tomorrow night in Jacksonville. So, as it stands right now, the Gladiators fall to 8-2 with this loss. Stingrays improved to 8-3. They have now won 4 in a row, and they are looking very much like the team of last year, the Brabham Cup champions, the best team in the regular season. South Carolina seems to be back to form. And for the Gladiators, they take on an Iceman team tomorrow that is currently sitting at 6-5 and has won their last game. And so we'll see what tomorrow brings for the Gladiators. It's another day, another opportunity for 2 points. And it'll be interesting to see if TJ Simptonfelter gets the start again for the Gladiators, stopping 21 of 22, or if they give the reins to Logan Stein, who was signed earlier in the week. Time will tell. Again, another really solid performance from Simptonfelter, but in a 1-0 game, every play counts. And the one from Kupka was the game winner. Stingrays grind it out. They get the 1-0 victory. That is your final score here from North Charleston Coliseum. We'll see you back tomorrow night in Jacksonville. 7 o'clock p.m. start time. Called a 6:40 pregame show right here on the Gladiators Broadcast Network. I'd like to thank the Stingrays for their hospitality here tonight. And thank you for watching this presentation of the ECHL, whether on Flow Sports or YouTube. It's always a good time having you. Gladiators do suffer the loss. Your final score, South Carolina 1, Atlanta 0. It's a 33-save shutout for Mitch Gibson, and the Gladiators will look to get back in the win column tonight in Jacksonville. I'm Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long. We'll see you at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena tomorrow night in North Florida. Good night.